Morningside University football. That's Coach Steve Ryan, his squad finishing off a perfect regular season at 10-0 with a 52-7 victory over Dakota Wesleyan and Mitchell last Saturday. Now getting set to open up the 66th annual NAIA Football Championship Series at home against the 14th ranked Spirit of Ottawa University of Arizona. The Spirit 8-1 on the year. But before we get into that matchup, Coach, earlier this week you guys were able to get some all-conference honors, some great honors as your team normally gets. I want to touch on a couple of aspects of your team there. Joe Dolenchek able to earn Offensive Player of the Year this year as a senior. As you've watched him progress from starting his sophomore year to now getting to start in the playoffs as a senior year and be Offensive Player of the Year, what kind of things have stood out to you in his progression to now get to this point and be honored like he has this year?
Well, I think, I'm just so proud of Joe, what he accomplished, and the kind of career he's had so far, and definitely the year he's had. But I think Joe has taken playing college football and specifically quarterback at Morningside University very seriously. And so one is just the constant development and progress just in terms of physically, taking care of his body. And then just number two, from a football standpoint, he's just done a great job of just working on his craft and being able to throw all sorts of throws on the field.
And his offense had a number of honorees as well behind him. It's an individual award, but you could probably give it to your entire team. And I also want to highlight, like you did on Saturday this past week, your offensive line, who was able to earn 4 all-conference honors on that offensive line. How important have they been to your overall success of your offense? I know you were very proud of the fact that they haven't allowed a sack to Joe all regular season.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty phenomenal stat right there in of itself in 10 games. And, it's a very senior-dominant offensive line. There's 3 seniors up there, and they've just had an outstanding year. It's allowed us to be able to throw the ball and run the ball effectively in basically every game this year. And so that's a credit to them, and we're going to need them to play at a high level if we want to continue playing.
Absolutely. They do need to play at a high level, and taking on Ottawa University of Arizona today. We're chatting with Coach Steve Ryan, head coach of Morningside football, on our Drilling Pharmacy pregame. Before we get into Ottawa a little bit, Coach, I do want to ask you one thing about the guys you have coming back. I believe you mentioned on Monday that you're going to be getting some key pieces of your wide receiving core back in Austin Johnson and you hope anyway, Josh Simmons. When specifically Austin Johnson, because he's been the starter for you guys, what ways does he improve your offense when he's on the field versus when he's having to sit on the sideline?
Well, Austin's just an incredible dynamic piece, and so one is he's equally effective in the short game. He's big and physical, so he's just difficult to tackle, and then also just in terms of his speed and his ability to run the deep ball and go up and get it. So he just diversifies us, as an offense, and he just has that potential to make big plays. And last year in the playoffs, he made so many big plays for us in those 3 games.
Yeah, he's been big. He's going to need to be big again today. This Ottawa team now 8-1. I guess we're getting the matchup we didn't get in 2020, Coach. As we look at this team, let's start on the offense. What kind of things, if you're talking to a fan who's going to be watching this game or listening to this game today, what kind of things can you tell them to expect when they hear Ottawa on offense and watch them on the field?
Well, I think in terms of Ottawa on offense, they've got an outstanding wide receiver core, and they got an outstanding, quarterback in McCullough, and he's a veteran. A lot of these guys are over 22 years old. I mean, they've relished on transfers and things like that. So they're big, physical, but it's a fast-paced spread offense. They run the ball and they throw the ball equally effective, and so they're going to see a high octane offense today out of Ottawa.
Mentioning, I noticed that too when I saw their roster. They have a number of transfers. They have a lot of upperclassmen. A team this experienced, but may not have that 4-year cohesion that your team has. I mean, what kind of wrinkle does it throw when you're going up against a graduate quarterback and a bunch of seniors at the skill position?
Yeah, I mean, they're just physically an outstanding group, and so we just got to be locked in. We got to play smart. We got to be responsible. We cannot allow guys to get behind us on defense.
You highlighted Austin McCullough there at quarterback. He's put up some impressive numbers. When you look at him running their offense, what makes him a standout quarterback as he's been facilitating this offensive success this year?
Well, he throws an exceptional ball. He's got an outstanding arm, and he can just throw all sorts of balls. But he's just got an outstanding arm.
When it comes to getting pressure on him, this is a quarterback that, at least from his stats anyway, does not suggest he's going to be very mobile. What's going to be the key to getting pressure on a quarterback like him that likes to sit in the pocket a little bit more?
Well, somebody's, number one, you just got to be really careful in terms of bringing pressure. He's got a quick release. He finds open guys, and he gets rid of the ball quickly. And so that's something that he does real well. So basically, somebody up front is going to have to beat the guy that's blocking him up front and get to the quarterback.
Their running back core, I think you mentioned that to me before we started as well. They've got a couple of running backs back there who have put up some fantastic numbers on the ground as well. What has been the key to their offensive success, and what are you going to have to do to kind of try and slow that down a little bit?
Well, they run the ball really well. They're basically a zone run offense. They don't run a lot of plays, but what they do it exceptionally well. What you have is two running backs. Number 5 Riley, who's extremely shifty, and then number 8 Moreland, who's got great speed. I want to say has 4 or 5 punt and kick returns for touchdowns this year. So they've got a pair of dynamic running backs.
Moreland is going to be one I'll ask you about here in a little bit as well. Yeah, when you talk about the special teams game, we're chatting with Coach Steve Ryan. He's the head coach of Morningside football, getting ready to take on Ottawa in the first round. That's the offense of the Spirit, coach. As you take a look now to the defense, I guess athleticism-wise, kind of a rinse and repeat there, offense to defense. But what kind of things stand out as some strengths of this Ottawa defense?
Well, I think start with they're very athletic, they're very fast, and that athleticism, that speed, obviously is going to create some problems and some issues for us that we just got to be ready for. And then just the length that they have, especially on the back end, big, long defensive backs that do a great job of covering. What
kind of problems do you pose? You mentioned it'll bring up some problems for you, but what kind of problems do you think that athleticism could pose when you're trying to have success on offense?
Well, they get to the ball faster. So faster guys get to the ball faster. So, maybe you open things up and a run that might normally go for 8 yards only goes for 5 yards, or you're trying to throw the ball and guys aren't quite as open, or the defensive backs are able to break faster on the ball and get to the ball.
I noticed when I got their depth chart for the first time, they run a nickel back there as their starter in number 7 there, David Jones Jr. And the brief amount of video I watched, they use him in the linebacking position. They use him on the corners. He kind of does a little bit of everything for them. What can you expect with him, number 7 there, to make an impact for them on defense today?
Yeah, he's basically a strong side outside linebacker, plays most in the field, and he does a lot. I think he's an outstanding football player. He's a great coverage guy. He's fantastic in terms of fitting the run. So hopefully we expect nothing out of him, and he does nothing. But more than likely, he's going to make some plays today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we hope he doesn't have a big as impact as he could. Another thing about that defense, the front 6 or front 7 when he's up there on the offensive line, coach. What do you need to do to or what do they do, I guess, when they're trying to bring pressure, when they're trying to stop the run, that you need to be ready for in this game today?
Well, they're just they move around a lot. And they really try to use their speed to the advantage. We just need to stay on our blocks.
We're chatting with Coach Steve Ryan, head coach of Morningside football. As you look at this Ottawa defense and then you try and game plan for them offensively, what are the things you're going to be looking to try and do successfully so that you can take advantage of them and put some points on the board against them?
Well, we need to be able to run the football, and hopefully we can establish the run game consistently. And we just need to be able to catch and throw, right? Joe needs to find the open guy, and when he throws it, we need to be able to catch it.
Last thing here for you, Coach. You mentioned Shamar Moreland there earlier, both in their running back position, and you mentioned his special teams ability. Four return touchdowns this season. When you have a guy back there who's fielding your team's kicks and things like that, what can you do in the special teams game to kind of minimize or try and take away his impact in the return game?
Well, one is just not kick it to him. So the first thing you can do is just choose not to kick it to him. That creates some other issues, but you can try to just not, kick it to him to begin with. And number two is if he does get it, guys have got to get into their lanes, defeat blocks, and make tackles. And if you have contained, and you need to stay in it. If you're a fold player, you need to make sure you're there.
Well, we hope all of those things, a lot of things that we talked about there, Coach. We hope a lot of it is to your success today. We appreciate your time, and best of luck today as well.
All right. Thanks, Daniel.
Absolutely. That was head coach Steve Ryan, head coach of Morningside University football on our Drilling Pharmacy pregame report. More from Elwood Olson Stadium after this break as the 66th annual NAIA Football Championship Series gets set to get underway. 14th ranked Ottawa University Spirit are in town to take on your second-ranked Morningside Mustangs, making their 18th consecutive football championship series appearance. More from Elwood Olson Stadium as we get closer to kickoff. Back after this on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS Sioux City. And we're back to Elwood Olson Stadium. That's our Drilling Pharmacy pregame report, getting you ready for the opening round of the NAIA Football Championship Series. Second-ranked Morningside hosting 14th-ranked Ottawa University of Arizona. Bob Goodvin alongside Daniel Versteg up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland will be with us on the sideline. Ottawa won the coin toss. They elected to defer, so we're going to see Morningside out there offensively to start. The Mustangs will send their GPAC Offensive Player of the Year in Joe Dolenchek out onto the field first, and he'll meet this Ottawa University defense. You know, this was the matchup that was supposed to open up the 2020 season before a little virus started circulating around this world, but this was supposed to be the opener in 2020. We were supposed to go down to Surprise to play this Spirit team, and they were supposed to come here at the beginning of 2021, but COVID kind of messed with things there, so we didn't end up getting those non-conference games in. But now here we are. This is the matchup we missed in 2020. We're ready to go. Michael Hall, the senior kicker, has teed this one up at his own 35-yard line. The Mustangs with Michael Payne and Caleb Schwegert go back deep to return this one. Here we go. The 66th annual NAIA Football Championship Series is underway with a high left-footed end-over-end kick that bounces at the 1-yard line. Schwegert fields it on a bounce as it came back in play. He takes up the middle of the 10-15. And on a bad bounce there, Schwegert takes it out across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So he's able to make something out of it, but Morningside will get 1st and 10 there at their own 21-yard line.
Now that's an example right there where return guys cannot assume that ball's going in the end zone, because that ball bounced on the 1 yard line and then bounced backwards. And had they assumed it was going in the end zone, it would have been a live football and might have been some trouble.
Yeah, that would have been big trouble indeed. Ottawa would have gotten the opening kickoff at that point, and now Morningside heads onto the field first. GPAC Offensive Player of the Year leads them in Joe Dolenchek with 3,300 passing yards, 32 passing touchdowns this year. He's completed 68% of his passes. 1st and 10 for Morningside, starting from their own 21-yard line. Out of the gun, a handoff up the middle to Anthony Sims, and he's able to inch his way forward across the 23 to the 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 3 to bring up 2nd and 7. Ottawa University with their 4-down linemen, 2 linebackers and nickel defensive back package. It's 2nd and 7, a handoff to Sims up the middle, up the right hash across the 25, and the Spirit stand him up at the 29, and they give him the 30-yard line for a pickup of about 6. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Well, I think in a game in which you have 2 high-octane offenses, like this game right here, 3rd down becomes even more valuable. And offensively, you got to stay on the field, and defensively, you got to get off the field.
And Morningside, 58% success rate on 3rd downs. Ottawa holding teams to 36.5% on 3rd downs. It's 3rd down and 1. Pistol set for Dolenchek. 2 receivers left. Turns left. Gives it to Sims. He's got 1st down yardage and more. Squeezes out of the pile across the 30 in between the hash to the 40 and the 42-yard line. That's a dozen for Anthony Sims, and it's 1st and 10.
Yeah, I think early on, Morningside's establishing the run game. I think they feel confident in the run game. I think they feel confident with the matchup on the line of scrimmage. And 3 straight runs to open the game for Morningside.
With 1:20 gone in the first quarter, Morningside trying to take the opening lead of the contest here on the People's Bank scoreboard. Empty backfield for Joe Dolenchek. 3 receivers left, 2 right at his own 42-yard line. Ottawa moves, does not get in the neutral zone, so Dolenchek drops to throw. 3 steps, pass over the middle, caught by Schweigert across the 45, midfield, and into Ottawa territory across the 45 to the 44. That's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for the Mustangs. There's the first pass of the ball game, and it goes for 14 to Schweigert, and now Morningside lines up in the gun. They'll have 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left on 1st and 10 at the Spirit 44-yard line. Ottawa shows a blitz potentially. Now Sims motions out of the backfield to the 3-receiver set. Dolenchek to throw. 4-man rush. Chucks it deep over the right sideline. Jurgensmeyer's open at the 10. Takes it inside the right numbers to the 5, to the hash, and into the end zone for a Mustang touchdown. And right away, Morningside scores first with 12:51 left in the first quarter. It's 6-0 Mustangs on the People's Bank scoreboard.
I think 2 things about that drive. Number 1, it looks like the Morningside offensive line is going to have their way. It looked like they threw the ball twice. They had all day to throw the ball. They ran the ball 3 times and gained positive yards each time. So I think they're lining up with a good matchup on the line of scrimmage.
First team all-conference kicker Chase Carter out there to attempt the point after try off the hold of Caden Ladwig, and Carter's kick inside the right upright is good. Morningside gets the first score of the ball game. A 5-play, 79-yard drive ends in a 44-yard touchdown pass. Mustangs lead 7-0 on our People's Bank scoreboard. We'll take a break. We're back in 30 seconds to Olsen Stadium. You're listening to Mustang Playoff Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olsen Stadium. Daniel Versteg alongside Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. We'll get a few words in with Nathan here in just a moment. Morningside with a 5-play, 79-yard drive. Took 2 minutes and 4 seconds off the clock, and Joe Dolenchek finds Reed Jurgensmeyer for a 44-yard touchdown pass, and the Mustang lead is 7-0 early. Now Chase Carter tries a short pooch kick to the left sideline, bounce at the 25. That's a live football. And it ends up rolling out of bounds at the 24-yard line. It was touched by Ottawa and Morningside. So the Spirit will get 1st and 10 of their own 24. Let's set it down to the 3rd member of our crew. That's Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. Nathan, what kind of things are you hearing as Morningside's getting ready to go on defense?
Yeah, listening to defensive coaches as they were getting their guys ready to go out, one thing they really want to do is get pressure on the quarterback today because, as you guys talked about, he doesn't have very much mobility.
Oh, thank you very much, Nathan. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a key. Here is Austin McCullough throwing a quick pass right side, caught at the 30-yard line on a knee by the receiver out there, Brandon McLaughlin. That is McCullough's favorite target out there at the 29-yard line, picks up 5. It's 2nd and 5. Austin McCullough, the graduate quarterback. He's virtually been the only quarterback to suit up for Ottawa University as he turns out of the pistol, gives it up the middle. And this carry picks up only a couple of yards there. That was Marcellus Chester Riley on the carry. For 2 yards, it's 3rd and 3. We're going to see a very balanced look here. A lot of run, a lot of pass. They like to do both. But now a quick 3rd down and 3 for the Spirit from their own 31-yard line. 3 receivers left. A fake play action pass over the middle. That one's caught. McLaughlin across the 40, 45 midfield into Mustang territory across the 45. And he's finally wrestled down at the 40-yard line. That's 29 yards and a 1st down for the Spirit.
That's a well-executed RPO. You fake the run, you read a linebacker in run and pass situations, and the linebacker bid on the run, and they hit the slant right in the vacated spot of the linebacker.
Now 1st and 10 of the Mustang 40-yard line. McCullough steps up to his line and issues some more commands with 2 receivers on either side out of the pistol. Chester Riley behind him in the backfield. They turn and give it to Chester Riley. Delayed handoff right up the middle and nowhere to go for Marcellus Chester Riley. Out to the 39-yard line, a gain of 1 brings up 2nd and 9.
You know, Riley's not a very big back. I mean, he's very small by college football standards, and a lot of times with small backs, they're kind of easy to tackle, and they're elusive, but if you can make contact, they're easy to bring down sometimes.
It says 5'11", 210 on the roster. Senior from San Francisco. 2nd and 9. Pass left side. Deflected in the air. It's picked off by Lonell Boyd Jr. Takes it out 40 between the hashes to the 45-yard line and close to midfield. Tackled at his own 48-yard line. Lonell Boyd Jr. has his 2nd interception of the season. This one comes off a deflection, and the Mustangs take over with 1st and 10.
Yeah, there's an old adage in football, and that's tips kill. And whenever the ball's tipped in the air, there's going to be more defensive players around it than offensive guys, and receivers cannot tip the ball in the air.
A dangerous mistake there for the Spirit after they had something going. They had a completion there to McLaughlin for about 29 yards, but now have to shut down the Mustang offense. Morningside 1st and 10, 3 receivers right, 1 left at his own 48. A handoff up the middle. Sims dances away from a defender across midfield into Spirit territory, breaking tackles across the 47 to the 45. It's a gain of 7, and it's 2nd and 3.
I believe that's the 7th play Morningside's ran today, and that's the 7th different formation they've given.
Yeah, lots of looks here. And lots of different personnel in there. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Out of the gun is Joe Dolenchek on 2nd and 3 at the Spirit 45. Low snap. Dolenchek 3-step drop. Takes a shot over the middle. Underthrows his man. Oh, and it was deflected away from Austin Johnson. And boy, the free safety Eric Holman upset that he did not come up with an interception inside the 10. It'll be 3rd and 3. Morningside's lucky to get that ball back.
Yeah, he didn't see the safety in the coverage, and that's one of those plays that Ottawa's just got to make. You know, they had a chance to get a turnover. They had a chance to get Morningside's offense off the field, and I can't say this enough. You just got to do that when you're playing Morningside.
Yeah, mistakes will haunt you. I think I heard Coach Ryan say mistakes get magnified in the playoffs. 3rd down and 3 for the Mustangs at the Ottawa 45. A handoff around the right side. Sims has 1st down yardage and more. Across the 42 and down to the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 5. It's 1st down and 10. So Morningside moves the chains, keeps their drive alive. On 3rd down, it's now 1st and 10 of the Spirit 40. Screen pass right side. Norton gets a block from Juergensmeyer up the right numbers 35 and a good hit up to the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 8 for Zach Norton. It's 2nd and 2.
You could see that play coming pre-snap. Morningside came out in 2-by-2 set, and they stacked both receivers on both sides. And the rule is if they're not pressing the number 1 receiver, you just throw the now screen out there, and you're going to pick up 8-9 yards because you're outnumbering them.
2nd and 2, handoff around the left side. Sims gets tackled short of the marker at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 1. 3rd and 1 with 9:45 to play in the first quarter. Morningside 7, Ottawa 0 on the People's Bank scoreboard. 3rd down and 1 upcoming for the Mustangs at the Spirit 31-yard line. You have a couple of tight ends on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Receiver on either side. Pistol set. Handoff. Sims. First down and more. Broke a tackle. 30-25. Left seam up to the 22 and the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 10 and a first down for the Mustangs. Lots of trust being put in Anthony Sims here right out of the get-go, and a lot of trust on that all-conference offensive line. Out of the pistol, Sims around the left side trying to get to the corner, and a good tackle in the open field there by Eric Holman out across the 18 to the 17. It's a gain of 4. It's 2nd and 6.
That time Ottawa brought their Sam linebacker, that nickelback as they call him, off the edge in a blitz, and Morningside just slid their protection right to the blitz exactly like they're supposed to do.
That's David Jones Jr., that nickelback, the senior from Washington, D.C. 2nd down and 6 for the Mustangs. In the red zone of the Ottawa 17, a play-action fake. Screen pass right side. Schwager makes the catch in traffic outside the right numbers to the 10 to the 5. Race to the pylon, and Schwager tumbles into the end zone for a Mustang touchdown. Caleb Schwager with his 5th touchdown reception of the season. And Morningside goes up by 2 scores. It's 13-0 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
I'll tell you who made that play, and that was the tight end. Tuafua was out there, and it was a hash screen, and he just took the corner and actually was a nickelback because of the motion, but he just took him and drove him to the sideline, and there was nobody left. So all compliments to Tuafua there.
It's good to see him back after he suffered a little bit of a nick there against Dakota Wesleyan. Chase Carter's point after kick. Straight through the uprights, it's good. 14-0, Morningside with 8:40 left to play in the first quarter. Morningside has capitalized on both of their offensive possessions, one coming off a turnover. We'll take a break. We'll be back in 30 seconds. The Spirit will get their second try offensively. When we return to Elwood Olson Stadium, you're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. And we welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium. A good start here in the playoffs for the Mustangs as they lead Ottawa University of Arizona 14-0. And you can hear the Mustang fans in loud agreements. Daniel Versteg alongside Bob Goodvin with you with 8:40 left in the first quarter. We'll hear from Nathan Hoagland here in just a minute as Shamar Moreland leaps and returns this kick from his own 2-yard line. Taken out to the right hash, 20-25, right sideline. Moreland out across the 30 and tackled forward to the 33-yard line. Good return there from Moreland, and it's 1st and 10 for the Spirit. Let's check in with the third member of our crew, Nathan Hoagland, down on the sideline. Nathan, what do you got for us down there?
Yeah, the defensive coaches after that last interception said they weren't happy with how much room they were giving the receivers. They said they got lucky with the tip, but want to close it down.
Thank you very much, Nathan, for that update. Yeah, if you remember the couple plays before that, a 29-yard completion over the middle for the Spirit was able to get them down into Morningside territory. But now Ottawa trying to atone for that interception, only McCullough's 10th interception of the season to this point. That's won a game. Here out of the pistol, McCullough, 3 receivers left, 1 right at the Spirit 33-yard line, and we have a flag thrown. This will be a delay of game called on the Spirit, a 5-yard penalty back to the 28, and boy, on the first play of the drive, you definitely don't want to go delay a game there.
Well, look at the defense on first down. Your linebackers are really wide. The outside linebackers, they're completely out of the box.
Basically
they always
corners.
are anyway. And look how deep the middle linebacker is. You think they're playing pass?
Yeah, no kidding. But here's a handoff. Chester Riley trying to break tackles back there, and he is stood up for a loss back to the 26. It's a loss of 2, and it's 2nd down and 17 for the Spirit.
So that approach on first down tells me they think their front 4 plus their middle linebacker can play the run.
I beg your pardon. That was Shamar Moreland there on that carry for the Spirit. So he loses 2 to the 26. It's now 2nd down and about 16 to go as McCullough drops to throw, steps up, throws a deep ball right seam, and overthrows his target. Brandon McLaughlin, an incomplete. Jamal Jones on the coverage, and it's 3rd down and long.
Well, Morningside bracketed him. He was a single receiver away from the trips, and They had the linebacker underneath. They had the corner over the top. So that scheme right there was taking him away from the snap.
Here's another big third down for the Spirit at their own 27. It's 3rd down and 16. 2 receivers on either side. McCullough lines up in the pistol with Moreland in the backfield. They motion Moreland out of it. McCullough to throw over the middle, and a great catch at the 44-yard line. Sean Richards hauls it in, but took a shot. He's got the first down, just picking up 16 or 17. What a grab, but now we have to figure out if Richards is going to be all right as he picks up first down yardage for the Spirit.
Well, assuming just watching the play, he catches the ball over the middle and the safety standing right there. So it takes all kinds of courage to catch that ball. And it was a great throw, by the way, too, but a better catch. But I'm guessing right now that he's just got the wind knocked out of him, and at least that's what I'm hoping.
I hope so, too. My goodness. I mean, those have got to be some of the scariest footballs to try and catch when you're coming over the middle and a safety's waiting for you, or a linebacker if you're closer to the line of scrimmage, and Richards is up and walking around. That is a beautiful sight. He's not asking for any help. And, yeah, I think our prognosis, at least up here, hopefully correct, that it just shook him up for a moment. He will have to sit out this next play. But to go back to the play now that we know he's all right, what a fantastic catch that was. Over the middle, knowing you're going to take that hit.
Yep. And if you've ever had the wind knocked out of you, the number one thing you got to do is be convinced you're going to live, because you
right.
honestly think you're going to die.
Right. Yeah, you get clocked pretty good when that happens. So a big first down, though, on 3rd and 16. The Spirit keep their drive alive. They have 1st and 10 of their own 43, out of the pistol. McCullough drops to throw with 4 receivers. Pass over the left seam, comes up a little short of his target. That was Sam Mason, the intended target. He's actually a transfer from Hastings. Incompletion brings up 2nd and 10. Mason, the 5'7", 155-pound senior receiver from Austin, Texas.
I was going to say, he's not very big.
No, he is not. 2nd and 10 of the 43. 2 receivers on either side of McCullough. He drops back to throw, throws right sideline. Nice leaping grab, a full extension there for Brandon McLaughlin. And he makes the catch, stopped at the Mustang 48, just short of the marker to bring up 3rd and 1.
They came back to the exact same route, and they just ran double hitches, but one hitch is much deeper than the other, and on both sides of the ball, so they just mirrored the route.
Here's another big 3rd down, a handoff left side. Moreland gets stopped in the backfield behind midfield. And it is Tyler Wingard. Weston Schultz is in there. All kinds of Mustangs making the play back to midfield. It's 4th down and 3 for the Spirit.
Yeah, I really think you got to think about going for it here. I mean, and it looks like they are too. Yep.
Yeah, they need to here. 4th and 3, pistol set for McCullough. Under 7 to play in the first quarter. 14-0 Mustangs. 2 receivers on either side. They need to get to the 47. McCullough throws left sideline. That ball is caught at the 42 of Morningside, and it is Ryan Lukasik-Drescher. Nope, it's Jermaine Trotman Jr. out of the 42-yard line. A gain of 8 for the Spirit. It's 1st and 10 for Ottawa.
I think as the game goes on, what you're going to see is Ottawa just totally disregard the run game. I mean, they're not going to be able to run the ball on Morningside's front 4, let alone their linebackers.
Jermaine Trotman Jr. picks up the first down on 4th down, and now McCullough drops to throw, steps up, throws back to Trotman at the 20, and he's making the catch inside the 20, tackled down to the 16-yard line. That's a gain of 26 and another first down for the Spirit. Ottawa University trying to come into Sioux City. They flew in here yesterday and are trying to make a statement here in the first round of the playoffs. McCullough to throw, dumps off a little screen pass to Moreland. Left numbers to the 15, to the 10, and Wingert brings him down from behind at the 5. That's a gain of 11. It's now 1st and goal.
I really like that play because that's a way to get your good athlete who's the tailback in the game without running the football.
1st and goal from the 5, out of the pistol. Handoff right side, Moreland trying to get a hole, now cuts back to the left, and Tom Barrett able to bring him down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. The second-team all-conference defensive lineman, Dominic Barrett, forces 2nd and goal.
This is where teams that have trouble running the ball and like to throw the ball really have trouble because you're down inside the 5-yard, you're right on the 5-yard line. There just isn't enough space to throw the ball sometimes.
2 men in the backfield now of Austin McCullough as he lines up in the gun. 2 receivers right, 1 left. 2nd and goal from the 5. McCullough takes a chest-high snap, looks to throw to the right corner, and, I don't know how there wasn't a flag
I don't
there.
either.
Drew Bessie just shoved the receiver in the back. The incompletion brings up 3rd and goal. I mean, I don't know how much more blatant you can get.
I was going to say, that might be the most blatant offensive or defensive pass interference we've seen all year, and they didn't call it.
Full extension push. 2 hands. Literally did the penalty motion. But here we go. Morningside catches a break. It's 3rd and goal from the Spirit, from the Mustang 5-yard line. Spirit with McCullough, receiver on either side, drops to throw out of the gun, throws over the middle. It's batted away. Weston Schultz got his hand up there in between the ball and the receiver to force the incompletion. It's now 4th down and goal.
I know why you're kicking the field goal, because it's 5 yards and it's 5 tough yards, but field goals aren't going to win this game.
No, they're not. Down 14-0. Here are the Spirit with 5:20 to play in the first quarter, and it will be their kicker, Michael Hall, who is 9 for 11 on field goals this year. This will be a 22-yarder just inside the left hash. Not too difficult of a kick, but got to put it in first. His punter, Bond, on the hold, and the kick with the left foot is through the uprights. It is good. Michael Hall puts one through, and the Spirit are on the scoreboard with 5:15 left in quarter number 1. It is 14-3. Morningside leads Ottawa University in the opening round of the NAIA Football Championship Series. We'll have more Mustang football when we return to Elwood Olson Stadium in 30 seconds. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Daniel Verstank alongside Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland joins us on the sideline in just a minute. It's the opening round of the 66th annual NAIA Football Championship Series. Ottawa University completes an 11-play, 62-yard drive that puts 3 on the board. A 22-yard field goal from Michael Hall has our score 14-3 in favor of Morningside. And now Hall, with his big left foot, boots it out of the end zone for a touchback, and Morningside will start 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Let's throw it down to the third member of our crew. That's Nathan Hoagland joining us down there. And Nathan, what kind of things have you been hearing as you roam the sideline today?
Yeah, Morningside's offense right now is really focused on keeping up a balanced attack right now. Obviously, Sims is great, Dolanchek is great, and they just want to see what the defense will give them. Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Nathan, for that report down there. Let's see what the defense for Ottawa does give Morningside as the Mustangs head back onto the field. 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Dolanchek in the gun. A play action fake to Sims. Drops the throw. Pass over the middle. And it's Norton making the catch across the 40-yard line. The defender was draped all over his back at the 44. We do have a flag back at the 20-yard line. Oh, and I think this one might be coming back for a hold.
Yeah, that's definitely in the holding range right there.
It's not quite as deep enough for roughing the passer.
Well, that was the 14th play Morningside's ran, and they have not had a play from scrimmage where they haven't at least gained positive yards.
Right.
I mean, that's amazing after 14 plays.
Especially when you're talking about playoff football right now. I mean, my goodness. So, unfortunately, though, that play, I guess, will be taken off the stat sheet. It's a holding penalty. Now 1st and 20 for the Mustangs, starting at their own 15. Dolanchek, a play action, throws to the right sideline, caught by Juergensmeyer across the 20. And he's pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line, so he gains that holding penalty back. 10 yards, brings up 2nd and 10.
Well, that's the perfect play right there on 1st and 25, 1st and 20, and that is get half the yards back. That's exactly what you want to do.
5 minutes to play in the first quarter, 14-3 Morningside. Dolanchek with a give up the middle. Sims looking for a hole, gets tripped up and has to dive forward for only a yard of the 26. Nowhere to go there for Sims, and now it's 3rd and 9.
This is a play. If Ottawa wants to stay in the game, they've got to get off the field.
And they need a stop here. A 3 and out for Morningside is golden for the Spirit. Two receivers on either side. Dalenchek in the gun. Takes the bell high snap. Drops short to throw. Passes right sideline. Johnson makes the catch. Welcome back to the game. Austin Johnson across the 35 to the 37. Picks up 11 in his first game back from injury. It's 1st and 10.
Yeah, just a good route. He runs the comeback route on the sideline. He runs it right at the sticks. He knows exactly where the first down is, and he runs the perfect route.
1st and 10 of the 37. Sims threw something back to the 20-yard line, lining up in the gun left of Joe Dalenchek. Motions Schweigert left side. Dalenchek a play-action fake, looks to throw over the right side and overthrowing Austin Johnson on the right sideline. Pass is incomplete. Dalenchek took a hit and had to dance off his foot a little bit. The incompletion brings up 2nd and 10.
It wasn't the same route scheme as before, but it was the same route by Austin Johnson, the comeback route on the boundary here, and Dalenchek just threw it high, and that's because he had somebody in his face.
Right. And Joe had to kind of walk off a little bit back at his own 20-yard line, so we'll keep an eye on him. He looks to be all right. 2nd and 10. Dalenchek throws a right screen pass. Johnson takes it up the sideline and is pushed out of bounds short of the marker. And really step out of the 43-yard line. A gain of 6 sets up 3rd down and 4.
And that's that stacked receiver set again, where they're 2-by-2 and they just stack both receivers behind number ones. And if you don't press number one, they're going to throw the now screen every time.
Dalenchek 3rd down and 4. 2 left, 1 right. Throws out route left side, deflected. And that ball is incomplete off of Reed Juergensmeyer's hand. Caleb Schweigert pleading with the official that he got underneath it on the deflection. And now our officials are going to talk about it, and they rule incomplete. So an incomplete pass brings up 4th down and 4. And more than likely, the punting unit will be coming out here for the Mustangs.
No, I'm not so sure of
maybe
that.
Not.
Yeah.
Looked for a moment there. Looked like the offense is going to walk off the field there. Morningside's going to stay out here on 4th and 4 at their own 43. Two receivers on either side. Dalenchek in the gun. Sims off his right hip. Try to get the Spirit to flinch. Nothing doing there. And now Joe Dalenchek takes a look to the sideline. He has only 3 seconds on the play clock. 2, gets the snap off, drops to throw right sideline, and the pass is dropped by Jake Towdy at the 48-yard line. The ball was a little underthrown from Dalenchek. It's a turnover on downs. The Spirit get it at the Mustang 43.
I think going for it there is a sign of two things. One, you have confidence in your own offense, no doubt about that, but you also want to keep the other team's offense off the field.
Right.
And, I will say early on, this receiver core for Ottawa, it's very athletic.
Yes.
And they're tough. They catch the ball in traffic.
Well, for only the 9th time in 21 attempts, Morningside is unsuccessful converting a 4th down this season. And now the Spirit take over, 1st and 10 of the Mustang 43. Down 11. It's 14-3 in favor of Morningside. 3:38 left in the first. Out of the pistol, McCullough around the left side. And this is the running back getting back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. It's Marcellus Chester Riley now there in the backfield. And no gain brings up 2nd and 10.
It definitely looks, from a game plan standpoint, when Ottawa's in a 3-by-1 set, Morningside is not going to let that single receiver catch the ball because they're putting the linebacker almost out in his face.
Chester Riley motions out of the backfield to put 3 receivers on the right side. McCullough drops to throw, takes a shot deep over the right sideline, and the ball's batted away. Lonell Boyd Jr. got in there to keep it away from Brandon McLaughlin. The incompletion forces 3rd down and 10.
They motioned the back to the wide side of the field, and then they just set him out there. And had they thrown the ball to him, they had him in all kinds of space, and that would have been some trouble, I think, for Morningside.
Yeah, McLaughlin was pretty well open inside the 5-yard line. Good closeout by Boyd Jr. to force the incompletion. It's now 3rd down and 10 for the Spirit of the Mustang 43-yard line. McCullough, 2 receivers on either side out of the pistol. Chester Riley motions out of the backfield to the right side as a receiver. An empty look for McCullough. 2 on the play clock. Drops to throw. Short pass complete at the 40-yard line. Bessie with a good open field tackle. Runs the receiver out of bounds. Antonio Day on the catch at the 39. Only picks up 4. It's 4th and 6.
Well, when they motioned the back out of the backfield like that, you saw the middle linebacker run with him. So you knew it was man coverage, and you knew a blitz was coming from somewhere, and they brought the blitz off the boundary side.
4th and 6, the Spirit going to go for it. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left at the Mustang 39-yard line. McCullough out of the pistol. We have movement. It's a false start on Ottawa University. That'll bring up 4th down and 11. Oh, an ever so slight flinch on the left tackle, Austin Lloyd. He brought his drop step back and loses 5 yards. It's now 4th and 11, back to the Mustang 44. That is a costly penalty for the Spirit. Now with 2:30 to play, they're going to keep their offense out there, and you're kind of committed at this point to go for it. 14-3, Morningside leading the Spirit on our People's Bank scoreboard. 4th down and 11, McCullough, 3 receivers right, 1 left, out of the pistol. McCullough takes the snap, chest high, 4-man rush, rolls to his right, throws to the sideline. That one's caught across the 30. It's Antonio Day stepping out of bounds at the Mustang 28, picks up 16 and an Ottawa University first down.
Well, McCullough bought himself some time right there. He scrambled out of the pocket, and he showed a little bit of ability to just buy some time with his feet.
Now 1st and 10 of the Mustang 28. They go quickly past right numbers. That one's caught at the 20 and tackled out of the 18-yard line for a pickup of 10. That's Ian Zamudio for 10 yards. It's 1st and 10 to the red zone.
One of the things you really are impressed with Ottawa's offense is their tempo. I mean, they're able to get up and snap the ball right away and still throw it. And a lot of times that's hard to do because you want the quarterback to recognize pre-snap coverage.
Minute 40 to play in the first, an 11-point Mustang lead. They dump a screen pass off. This is McLaughlin up the right seam to the 10 to the 5 and tackled forward into the end zone for a Spirit touchdown. The first touchdown of the ball game for Ottawa University goes to Brandon McLaughlin, his 6th score of 2021. And the Spirit cut it to a 5-point game. It's 14-9 in favor of the Mustangs on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Just a little jailbreak screen. The difference that time is after he caught the ball, he got vertical immediately. Most of the time you like to run sideways a little bit with the jailbreak. And
here's the point after kick, and Michael Hall is able to boot it through the uprights. It's good. Well, we got a ball game now. Morningside scored the first 14 of the contest. Ottawa has scored the next 10. It's a 4-point game with a minute 33 left in the first quarter. 14-10 in favor of Morningside. We're back in 30 seconds to Elwood Olson Stadium. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We're back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Alongside Bob Goodvin, I'm Daniel Versteg. Nathan Hoagland joins us on the sideline here in just a moment. Ottawa University taking the turnover on downs and turning it into points. The Spirit go a 6-play, 43-yard drive that took 2 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock. And Austin McCullough finds Brandon McLaughlin for an 18-yard score, and it's 14-10 in favor of the Mustangs. This kick from Michael Hall bounces out of the end zone for a touchback. So Morningside will take the field on offense. Let's send it down to the third member of our crew, wherever he may be. That is Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline for us. And Nathan, what kind of things are you noticing for us? Well, Nathan's too busy talking up there, so we'll there you go. He's awoken up now. Let's see if we can get Nathan out of his daydream. Nathan, what do you got for us?
Hey, I was gathering valuable information.
Oh, I'm sure you were, yes. Some very funny, valuable information.
That might have been happening.
Yeah, all right, well, let's get this play here. It's 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Dalenchek hands it up the middle, and this is Sims out across the 25 to the 27. Gain of 2, it's 2nd and 8. Now let's check in with Nathan. Nathan, what kind of valuable information do you have for us?
Well, offensively, Joe Dalenchek, they're trying to kind of keep his nerves down a little bit. You saw it last time where when he tries to get it a little too quick is when the errors start coming.
Absolutely, and that led to the incompletion there. Thank you very much, Nathan. The incompletion that led to the turnover on downs. 2nd and 8, a handoff up the middle. This is Ryan Cole. Lowers his shoulder, takes a shot across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Picks up 4 hard-earned yards. It's now 3rd and 4 for the Mustangs.
This is a big play for both teams. If you're Morningside, you want to stay on the field offensively. You want to keep your defense off the field. And Ottawa, if you can get off the field and get your offense back on the field, they got all kinds of momentum.
Yeah, no kidding. We were just talking to the break how good Ottawa's receivers have been so far in this ball game. Third down and 4 for the Mustangs from their own 31-yard line. Towdy motions across the line left to right as a tight end. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Dalenchek 3-step drop out of the gun. Looks to throw over the middle. Pass is caught by Juergensmeyer across the 35. And he's tackled down to the 40-yard line for a pickup of 9. It's 1st and 10.
He's such a big body, and when he can get you on his backside and just box you out, so to speak, he's impossible to cover.
Yeah, all 6'3", 210 of him. I mean, my goodness, he's put up some fantastic plays in his career. Now 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from their own 40. There's a handoff up the middle to Sims. In between the hashes, and the Ottawa defense comes up with a good stop there. Only allows about 2.5 to 3 yards. We'll say 3 to the 43, and it's 2nd and 7. We're seeing now, though, Bob, you saw the first couple of possessions that Morningside scored. They wanted to run the ball a lot. Ottawa's been able to come up with some big stops here now on Anthony Sims as we have, we'll pick up that thought later. We're done with a quarter of football. Morningside, the second-ranked team in the country, leads 14th-ranked Ottawa University. 14-10 on our People's Bank scoreboard. We're back with the second quarter of action after this 1-minute break. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Daniel Versteg, Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. 14-10 Morningside and leading Ottawa as we start the second quarter. Bob, we were talking before the break. Morningside's now, I think, having a little bit of trouble running the football after they had some success in their first couple of possessions.
Yeah, they haven't had the 8 and 10 yard runs, but every time they run the ball, they're staying ahead of the chains. They're gaining 2-3 yards every time, and that's just fine with Morningside right now.
2nd and 7, Dalenchek throws an out route left sideline caught by Juergensmeyer at midfield, and he drags the defender out of bounds into Ottawa territory at the 49. It's a gain of 8 and a first down for the Mustangs into Spirit territory.
And that's exactly what I mean by running the ball for 2-3 yards is fine for Morningside, because just the threat of the run right now is opening up those wideouts. Right, you can see it all the time.
14-10, Morningside leading Ottawa University on the People's Bank scoreboard. Start of the second quarter, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the Spirit 49. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Dalenchek drops back to throw out of the gun, throws over the middle. Johnson makes a great spinning catch across the 35 to the 30-yard line, a gain of 19 and a first down for Morningside.
Now, I was watching Morningside was in a 3-by-1 set, and they could throw the single-side receiver the ball every play.
Out of the pistol, a handoff. Sims right up the seam across the 25, broke a tackle 20, left numbers 15-10, gets a block to the 5 and into the end zone for a Mustang touchdown. A 30-yard score on the ground from Anthony Sims. And Morningside goes up 20-10 on Ottawa on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Did you see Austin Johnson downfield blocking?
Yes.
I mean, that's so impressive to see receivers block like that.
And also, you consider the fact that Austin's missed the last few weeks with an injury. And he's come out there and blocking on the outside. He injured his shoulder a few weeks ago, and he's blocking like nothing happened to that shoulder. Now here's a point after try for Chase Carter. Try and put the Mustangs back up by 11. And the right-footed end-over-end boot is through the uprights. It's good. 21-10. Morningside leads by 11. 14-16 to play in the half. We'll take a quick 30-second break. We're back after this timeout. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Daniel Versteg and Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland joins us in a moment on the sideline with our score. Second-ranked Morningside leading 14th-ranked Ottawa 21-10 on the People's Bank scoreboard. A 7-play, 75-yard drive that went from the first quarter to the second quarter. Took a little over 2 minutes off the clock and is capped off by a 30-yard rushing touchdown from Anthony Sims to put the Mustangs up 21-10 on the People's Bank scoreboard. I want to remind you, coming up at halftime, we'll break down all of the action from this contest, of course, and recap or take a look at the NAIA Football Championship Series scoreboard of all the other contests going on around the nation. This kick is returned to the 8-yard line by Ian Zamudio, and Zamudio gets wrapped up and brought down to the 24. Good return, and 1st and 10 for the Spirit upcoming. Let's throw it down to the third member of our crew, Nathan Hoagland, who's down on the sideline. Nathan, what kind of things have you been hearing down there?
Well, right now it's nothing but jubilation down here for Anthony Sims after that touchdown run that obviously is going to be special for a long time for him.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Nathan. 61 career rushing touchdowns for Anthony Sims now, 8 away from A.P. Ponder's career rushing touchdown record. The Mustangs lead 21-10. Here's a screen pass left side. That one's caught at the 30-yard line. A 5-yard pickup there for Sam Mason. 6 yards, excuse me. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
And again, look at the tempo of Ottawa. They're hustling up the line of scrimmage. They're getting set. But that previous play is that RPO. I refer to it as a zone stick. And if you're going to sit in too high, which Morningside's doing predominantly, that play is almost impossible to stop.
2nd down and 4 for the Spirit at their own 30. McCullough drops to throw, pump fakes. He's going to keep it up the left seam. 1st down yardage, slides across the 35 to the 37-yard line. He picks up 7 yards on the keeper, and it's 1st and 10. Maybe he is a little more mobile than we thought.
Well, no doubt about it, and he's also intelligent because he gets the 1st down and then he slides, and that's an intelligent quarterback.
Yeah, he doesn't need 3 yards right now. There's a handoff up the middle and nowhere to go for Shamar Moreland, but he was able to inch forward across the line of scrimmage, stopped at the 38-yard line for a pickup of 1, brings up 2nd down and 9. 13-11 and counting to play in the first half. Second-ranked Morningside leads 14th-ranked Ottawa of Arizona on the People's Bank scoreboard. Our score's 21-10 right now, and it's 2nd and 9 for the Spirit at their own 38-yard line. There is McCullough with a fake handoff, throws left numbers, and a great catch, spinning away for the defender across the 45 and into Mustang territory at the 42 goes Jermaine Trotman Jr., a big gain of 20 yards. It's 1st and 10 for the Spirit into Mustang territory.
I'll tell you what, if Von Sagern doesn't make that play, it's a touchdown. That's just great hustle by the outside linebacker to come back and just trip him up.
1st down and 10 for the Spirit at the Mustang 42. 3 receivers, right, 1 left. McCullough, play action fake, steps up in the pocket, throws over the seam, and it's batted away by K. John Green, looking for Jermaine Trotman Jr., and Trotman Jr. is slow to get up, grabbing at his right lower leg. Oh, and that's the last thing Ottawa University needs is an injured receiver on that play. The incompletion on it brings up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that's got all signals of a serious knee injury.
Well, that's not a good sign right now. We'll take an injury timeout as the Spirit attend to Jermaine Trotman Jr. down on the field. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in 30 seconds to Elwood Olson Stadium on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS Sioux City. Well, we're back to Elwood Olson Stadium. They have Jermaine Trotman Jr. up on his his one foot that he can put pressure on. And yeah, Bob, you said it's not looking good, and the way he's hopping off the field with help from the training staff does not suggest good omens there for Jermaine.
No, now they're all but carrying him off the field now. But not to change the subject, but look how big that person is that's helping carrying him off the field. That he looks like he's about 7 foot tall, 400 pounds, and no fat. He's a big man.
Right. Yeah, they do have some size out here, but now, anyway, it is. They've got Jermaine Trotman Jr. up onto the training table over there. It's now 2nd down and 10 of the Mustang 42. 2 receivers right and 1 receiver left. It is McCullough with a play-action fake, throws right sideline. That one's caught across the 40-yard line by Ian Zamudio. Only a gain of about 3 to the 39. It's now 3rd down and 7.
See, that's that zone stick again, I think. And, the Morningside linebacker's in perfect position. I mean, it's just a very tough play to stop if you're going to sit in too high. And Portis made a very good play to hold them to 3-4 yards.
Well, let's see if they can come up with another hold here. It's 3rd down and 7 of the Mustang 39. 3 receivers left, 1 right. McCullough drops 3 steps to throw out of the pistol, throws over the middle, tipped up in the air, incomplete. Oh, but a flag comes out from behind the play. And I think they're going to get Jamal Jones for a pass interference, and that should give the Spirit a 1st down.
Well, yeah. If that's pass interference, the one they didn't call should be a crime.
Yeah, that should be an ejection at that point.
Yeah. I thought Jones just made a good play on the ball. I thought he arrived at the ball at the same time, and that's a tough call.
That is a tough call. It's going to move the Spirit near the red zone. They're going to get it up to the Mustang 26 now following the pass interference. And so 1st and 10 for Ottawa upcoming. They'll be at the Mustang 26-yard line with 11:48 to play. Morningside up on Ottawa, 21-10 on the People's Bank scoreboard. 11:48 to play in the first half. And, well, now our refereeing crew is, I think, trying to figure out where the line of scrimmage should be. And, that's not a good sign. They haven't spotted the ball yet. They're standing around the 26, but they have not figured out where that ball is supposed to be. So that makes me more confident in the whole flag being thrown anyway. We do want to remind you, coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at the first half stats, break it all down for you, and also take a look at scores from around the NAIA Football Championship Series. There are 5 other games around the country going on in the opening round, and they move the ball up another 2 yards here to the 24. So 1st and 10 for the Spirit. They have it at the Mustang 24-yard line. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. McCullough drops the throw. Pump fake short, dumps it off into the flat. This one is for Moreland out across the 20, 15-10. Broke a tackle to the 5. Keeps going all the way down to the 1-yard line. 23 yards on the screen to Moreland, and it's 1st and goal.
You know, I love that play because they're having a hard time running the ball. Moreland's a great football player, and that's just another way to get him the ball without running the ball. It's just a little slip screen to him.
Here's the handoff up the middle and into the end zone. That's an Ottawa touchdown, and it is Shamar Moreland with a rushing score. And that'll cut it back to a 1-score game with 11:28 to play in the first half. It's 21-16, Morningside up on Ottawa here on the People's Bank scoreboard. So the point after try upcoming as Shamar Moreland has his 2nd touchdown run of the season for the Spirit. And now the point after try here for Michael Hall. Try and cut it back to 4. We have a whistle that stops things here for a moment. Going to reset the play clock there. So here we go. Michael Hall with the point after kick. Try and cut it to 4 with 11:28 to play in the half. Snap in the spot. The point after kick is through the uprights. It's good. 21-17. Ottawa has answered the call. They cut it back to 4 with 11:28 to play in the half. Mustangs lead by 4 on the People's Bank scoreboard. We're back in 30 seconds to Elwood Olson Stadium. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Daniel Versteeg, Bob Goodvin up in the booth, Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. With our score 21-17 in favor of Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard. 11:28 to play before halftime. The Spirit capping off an 8-play, 76-yard drive. Took about 2:40 off the clock, and it was capped off by a Shamar Moreland 1-yard touchdown run, but it was really set up by a 23-yard screen pass to Moreland that got them down to the 1-yard line. And now here is the left-footed end-over-end boot that sails out of the end zone for a touchback from Michael Hall. And Morningside will start first and 10 of their own 25. Let's check in with the third member of our crew. That is Nathan Hoagland, who's down on the sideline for us. Nathan, what kind of things have you heard as you are down there?
Well, the message to the offense is really simple right now, Daniel. Keep doing what you're doing. It worked.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It did work on that last possession, and we hope they can keep doing what they're doing. Thank you very much, Nathan. As Morningside starts first and 10 of their own 25. Out of the pistol, a handoff to Sims up the middle. He's across the 28 to the 29, picks up 4, brings up second down and 6.
Whenever Morningside gets in that 3-by-1 set and they have Austin Johnson down here as the single receiver, they can run the out route to him all night long, all afternoon long, because they're taking away inside leverage. They're 7 yards off.
Here's second and 6. Mustang 29-yard line, 2 receivers right and none left. Dalenchuk out of the gun, pump fakes the screen and throws it wide of Johnson. Ottawa was on that screen pass, and I think that caused the pump fake. It's now 3rd and 6.
Yeah, it looked like a kind of a different version of their hash screen. You know, most of the times they throw their hash screen to the number 1 receiver, and it looked like that time they were trying to throw it to Johnson, who was the number 2, maybe even number 3 receiver.
And Ottawa had that one kind of figured out there. So it's 3rd and 6 for the Mustangs at their own 29. Dalenchuk drops to throw. 4-man rush, throws over the left sideline. Oh, come on. There's got to be something there. Juergensmeyer couldn't haul in the pass because he was being held on for dear life from Eric Holman. The incompletion brings up 4th down and 6. Morningside's punting unit comes off the bench.
Well, I'm going to pull a 1970s term out there that he was mugging him.
Yes.
He had his arms around him.
Look at Coach Ryan. He's chasing down this side judge over here. He is giving him the business. Absolutely giving that side judge an earful, and rightfully so. They blew that call just like they blew Bessie's. I guess an eye for an eye there with that Bessie pass interference earlier. So Colton Earl back out to punt this one away. The Spirit got a good rush and a high right-footed spiraling kick, and Shamar Moreland is forced to fair catch it at his own 32-yard line. So the Spirit start first and 10 of their own 32, and this is a really big possession, Bob. Now they have a chance to take the lead. They're only down 4. And with the momentum that Ottawa's been rolling here as of late, I don't doubt that this will be Ottawa's lead at the end of this drive potentially.
Well, I think what we talked about early on has come to infusion, and that is they've quit running the ball.
Right.
And they're just throwing the ball, and if they want to get the ball to the tailback, they do it in screens, and they motion him out of the backfield, and I think that's the right decision by them.
Yeah, handoffs are not going to work for the Spirit. Here's first and 10 of their own 32. Austin McCullough leads his offense out there. 2 men in the backfield. They do hand off around the right side. This is to Chester Riley, and there you go. Jamal Jones runs him out of bounds for no gain. Marsalis Chester Riley picks up nothing. It's 2nd and 10. Yeah, we don't mind if they keep running the football with results like that. Here's 2nd and 10 for the Spirit from their own 32-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 right.
Well, they've been in 10 personnel the whole game,
right,
and now they're in 20 personnel, meaning they have a fullback in the backfield.
Yeah, Tyler Lakowski is that fullback on the right hip of McCullough. There's a play-action fake. Austin looking to throw deep over the right seam and well over through Brandon McLaughlin. There's a flag thrown on Jamal Jones. Multiple flags come out, probably for the same penalty, and this will more than likely move the chains.
Well, they definitely held him. You could see it.
They did.
They broke his stride so much that.
Yeah, you make. I don't think a catchable ball ends up being the rule in college sports, but he held him so much that he made it an uncatchable ball because of it. So pass interference is called on the Mustang defense. That's 15 yards from the original line of scrimmage. And that one doesn't sit well with the Mustang fans, especially considering that ball to Reed earlier. But a 15-yard penalty gives Ottawa 1st and 10 up to their own 47-yard line.
And now Ottawa's back in their 10 personnel.
Now out of the pistol, one handoff, a give up the middle, and there's the Mustang defense coming up big. No gain there for Chester Riley. Right at the 47, it's 2nd down and 10.
Well, Ottawa just can't block Morningside's front four,
Right.
and thus they cannot run the football. I know you got to keep trying, just keep them honest and give
Right.
your receivers a break. But
Yeah, they've run the ball 10 times and picked up 10 positive yards. That's it. 2nd down and 10 for the Spirit from their own 47-yard line. 2 receivers on either side. McCullough in the pistol. Takes a chest-high snap. Short screen pass caught by Chester Riley outside the right numbers. There's a hold on the outside. They called it at the 49-yard line. Chester Riley run out of bounds at about midfield. It's not going to end up mattering. I believe that was Pingle who was being held onto out on the right sideline. And Ottawa's going to lose a big chunk of yards.
yeah, one of the 3 blind mice could make that call. I mean, he had him.
I can make that call. I'm usually not good at seeing those kind of things. And I'm all the way up here. 9:41 to play before halftime. There's a hold on the outside. It's one of the receivers out there. And so it'll be 2nd down and long. They'll go 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So it'll be 2nd down and 18. Yeah, 18 back to their own 39-yard line.
The secret to holding, and I'm not being sarcastic about this, it's kind of having to know when to let go.
Yes.
And he didn't let go.
Yeah, if you let go quick enough,
Yep.
you can get away with it before the blind mice catch you. Here's 2nd down and 18. Ball at the 39-yard line for Ottawa. 2 receivers on either side. McCullough in the pistol. Motions Chester Riley out of it to throw. McCullough over the middle. Leaping grab. Ian Zamudio across the 40 to the 35-yard line of Morningside. They got him down to the 32. It's a big gain for 29 and a 1st down for the Spirit.
I'm going to say 3 things about that play. Great coverage, great catch, great throw.
Yeah, it had everything. There's a pump fake, and now they dump off, they tried to dump off a little bit of a screen break out to the left side on Chester Riley, but McCullough overthrows him. Incompletion, it's 2nd and 10. It's 21-17, Morningside leading Ottawa University of Arizona. 9:02 to play in the first half here on our People's Bank scoreboard. We'll get you caught up on all the other scores around the country coming up at halftime. There's 5 other NAIA Football Championship Series opening round contests taking place in 5 other sites across this great country. 2nd and 10 at the Mustang 32-yard line. 2 receivers on either side. McCullough motions the back out of the backfield to throw. A little dump off left side. Nowhere to go. Jalen Portis disrupts that play along with Weston Schultz back at the 33. Jordan King made the catch for a loss of 1. It's 3rd down and 11.
You know, you go back a play ago to that screen, and they've had some success running that slip screen, but that last play, Dominic Barrett did a great job of reading the screen from the beginning, and he was running with him, and the quarterback had to throw the ball over him, and thus just couldn't get him the ball.
3rd down and 11 now. Ottawa has been good on 3rd downs here this afternoon. The Spirit 3 of 6 on 3rd down. That's a lot better than most teams do against the Mustangs. 2 receivers on either side. McCullough with a man off his right hip in the backfield out of the gun. 2 seconds on the play clock. Just got the snap off. Drops to throw on 3rd and 11. Pass right seam. That's caught by McLaughlin. They have him wrapped up at the 23. Our headlines judge has him down to the 22. Just enough. Picks up 11. And it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Spirit.
Now, I'll tell you what made that play work, Daniel. They had the running back on the right. The quarterback brought him over to the left because he saw the blitz coming there, and the running back was right there to pick up the blitz, and that's a great job by the quarterback.
That's an experienced quarterback there. There's a delayed handoff up the middle. Chester Riley picks up only 2 yards to the 20. It's a gain of 2, and it's now 2nd down and 8.
You always tell your quarterback you're just as responsible for your protection as the offensive line, and that, I'm telling you, that's an awesome play by that quarterback to see that blitz and adjust the running back's assignment.
Pistol set, 4 receivers, fakes handoff, screen pass right side, caught by Zamudio across the 17 to the 16, where he's brought down by Ben Chelsvig. It's a gain of 4. It's 3rd and 4 in the red zone.
That's that RPO zone stick again, and the Morningside outside linebackers are playing that as well as they can. I mean, the only way you take it away is you either walk a safety down in there or you take the linebacker and play him head up on number 2, and if you do that, you got other opportunities offensively.
7:07 left in the half. Mustangs by 4. It's 3rd and 4. McCullough with a give up the middle. Chester Riley gets stopped short of the marker at the 14-yard line. Tyler Wingert plugs the gap. It's now 4th and 2 at the Mustang 14. The offense stays on the field. They want the lead. And now we have a late timeout. Mike Nesbitt, the head coach of Ottawa University, wants to take a moment to talk about it ahead of a 4th down and 2, 6:49 to play in the half. We'll take a short timeout as well. We're back in 30 seconds to Elwood Olson Stadium on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We're back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Daniel Versteeg, Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland's down on the sideline. This is a big play. It's 4th down and 2 for the Spirit at the Mustang 14-yard line. We have 6:49 left in the half of the Mustangs lead 21-17 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Morningside trying to come up with a stop here. Ottawa called a timeout to try and come up with something. They have 2 remaining here in the first half, and now the Spirit look to go for it on 4th and 2.
See, last play Morningside was in their nickel, meaning their 3-man front. Now they're back into their 4-man front on 4th and 2.
Yeah, their 3 linebackers pretty spread out across the defense. It's 4th and 2 for the Mustang 14. Out of the pistol, McCullough. 2 receivers either side. Gives it right side. Chester Riley, 1st down and more. 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Ottawa. Chester Riley. Marsalis Chester Riley able to break through the line. Able to get a lane 14 yards into the end zone. And the Spirit have their first lead. Ottawa leads 23-21 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Ottawa brings more speed than I think Morningside has seen all year, and right now they're having a hard time with that speed.
Chester Riley with his first score of the afternoon, his 13th of the season. The Spirit have their first lead, and the point after try from Michael Hall. The spot and the kick, it equals a point through the uprights. It's good. 24-21. Ottawa University leads Morningside. 6:44 left in the half on the People's Bank scoreboard. We'll take a 30-second break. Morningside will look to try and answer before halftime when we return to Elwood Olson Stadium. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. And we are back to Elwood Olson Stadium here on the campus of Morningside University. Playoff atmosphere, playoff football. Daniel Versteeg alongside Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland joins us in a moment on the sideline. Our score was 6:44 left in the first half. 14th ranked Ottawa University leading 2nd ranked Morningside 24-21 on the People's Bank scoreboard. And this kick will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Morningside gets it at their own 25. Let's send it down to the 3rd member of our crew. That's Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. Nathan, now that Morningside's down in this one, what kind of things have you been hearing?
Yeah, the message to the offense as they were walking out was, don't worry. It's not even halftime. We're good. Stay calm. Keep doing what you're doing.
Stay calm is the key. Thank you very much, Nathan. Another thing they always talk about is always believing you're still in the contest. Here is Dolenchek, 2 receivers on either side on 1st and 10 of the 25. Towdy motions to the left side. There's a screen pass left sideline. Schwager to the 25-30. He's run out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Oh, a swing was taken. There's a flag down there. Oh, my goodness. The corner, DeAndre Armstrong, took a swing and missed at Schwager at the 32-yard line. And that's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. They'll tack 15 yards at the end of this play. Oh, my goodness. What a bad penalty for the Spirit. They're going to talk about it here, and I don't think this will go over well if they pick up the flag. They don't. All right. Unsportsmanlike conduct called on DeAndre Armstrong. Him and Schwager got tied up going out of bounds, and Armstrong took exception to it and just took a swing at him. And a 15-yard penalty sends Morningside up to their own 49. Boy, what a costly penalty for the Spirit. They just take the lead, have a lot of momentum. Now Morningside has 1st and 10 near midfield. 3 receivers right, 2 receivers left of Dalenchek in the gun. Empty backfield. Ottawa flinch. They're going to bring the house. Here they come with 6. Dalenchek has to get rid of it quickly. Does to Juergensmeyer. Oh, but he couldn't haul it in at the 33-yard line. Juergensmeyer sliding to the turf, unable to catch the pass. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the ball's a little underthrown. He had to go down and get it and slide, but 99% of the time Reed's going to catch that ball.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's probably the second drop in the last 5 years for him.
But we've seen Joe underthrow a couple of receivers here today already. 2nd and 10 of the 49. A handoff. Sims around the left side, across midfield into Spirit territory as he gets across the 45 to the 42-yard line. Picks up 9, and it's now 3rd down and 1. Anthony Sims had a touchdown run earlier on in the contest. It's now 3rd down and 1 for the Mustangs at the Spirit 42-yard line. A receiver left, a receiver right. Dalenchek with the give up the middle. Sims, and he gets stood up and a loss back to the 43-yard line. No gain. It's 4th and 2 for the Mustangs at the Spirit 43.
That literally is the first play of the game, I believe, where Morningside has not gained positive yards other than the 4th down interception.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you there. Morningside now trying to convert on 4th down. The Mustangs' only other 4th down try ended in a turnover on downs. Morningside lines up with an offset I formation under center on 4th down and 2. Dalenchek with the give up the middle. Sims left side broke free across the 35-30. Left numbers 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. No, he stepped out of bounds. Sims is out of bounds at the 6-yard line, but a big gain for Anthony Sims. He picks up 37 and a Mustang 1st down inside the 10.
Well, that's the risk on 4th and short when you pack the box, is if you break that first level of defense, there's nobody left.
Mm-hmm. Now a single back formation, 1st and goal from the 6. Dalenchek under center. The give to Sims up the middle to the 5. Still going down to the 2 and stops short of the goal line at the 1. It's 2nd and goal from the 1.
If I was Morningside right now, I'd take my time a little bit, but they're not going to. I mean, it's not in their nature.
No, it's not. I see what you mean, though. Under center, Dalenchek gives it to Sims up the middle, lowers his shoulder, punches his way into the end zone for a Mustang touchdown. A pair of scores here in the 2nd quarter for Anthony Sims, and Morningside retakes the lead. It's 27-24 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
And the only reason I say that is because now you give the ball back to Ottawa with the chance of going down and scoring
right,
and then getting the double possession at half, and that's just not in their nature to do something like that.
No, they don't know the definition of slow down offensively. And now here's the point after try from Chase Carter. We have a whistle, lots of movement before the play, and I think this one will end up going on Morningside. So we'll see. And we'll see if Morningside's going to get a little bit longer of a kick to try or a bit of a shorter one. Our officiating crew is talking about it, which keeps us in suspense up here. We enjoy a little drama on some of these plays. Our referee calls offsides on the defense for the Spirit, so they'll move the ball up a yard and a half.
I think you decline it.
Oh, they'll decline it, yep. I see what you mean. Yeah, if you accept it, you're probably going for 2, but there's no reason to go for 2 at this point. So Chase Carter will just try the same kick following the penalty. Ladwig will be his holder. Here is the snap and the spot. The point after kick is through the uprights. It's good. Morningside leads Ottawa 28-24. Another touchdown run for Anthony Sims. Puts the Mustangs up 4 with 4:47 left in the half. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Mustang Playoff Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We're back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Daniel Verstegen, Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland's down on the sideline. 28-24, Morningside up on Ottawa on the People's Bank scoreboard. 4 minutes and 47 seconds left to play in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at the first half stats and recap the scores around the country. All coming up on the halftime coverage as Chase Carter with a right-footed end-over-end kick. This is returnable, and Moreland does return it from the left sideline at the 3. Up the left numbers to the 15, 20. And Moreland has stood up there at the 23-yard line. Not a bad return there for Shamar Moreland. It's first down and 10 for the Spirit. We do have a Mustang that is slow to get up on the play on the return. While they attend to that tweaked-up Mustang, let's send it down to the third member of our crew, Nathan Hoagland. Nathan, what kind of things are you noticing here?
Yeah, defensively, one of the things they were kind of talking about down here was how much they want to commit to the rush with the QB that just, takes those 2 steps and lets it go.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much, Nathan. Yeah, it does become a I think we were mentioning this in the break with McCullough's quick release. Now that's a question. Do you even risk rushing him or not? Rushing him as hard anyway, as Morningside is used to blitzing. But here we go, 1st and 10 for the Spirit from their own 23-yard line. McCullough, chest-high snap, throws right sideline. That one's caught at the 30 by Brandon McLaughlin. He gets first down yardage across the 33. And he's tackled down to the 37-yard line. That's 14 yards and a first down for the Spirit.
Well, the other thing, too, is when you blitz, you got to play man behind it. And do you want to play man to these receivers? Because we've said these receivers are fast.
Yes, they're fast. They're athletic. They can beat most people man-to-man. 1st and 10 of the 37, a pass left seam. That one's caught. And it is Sam Mason out across midfield to the Mustang 49. That is another 14-yard gain for the Spirit. And it remains 1st and 10. So back-to-back gains of 28 yards for Ottawa to the Mustang 49 with 4:15 left in the half. Morningside 28, Ottawa 24. 3 receivers right, 1 left. McCullough marks commands to his offensive line. Out of the pistol. McCullough with more signals given to his offensive line. Morningside brings a blitz right up the middle. Moreland is able to pick up positive yardage, but not much more than 2. Only a 2-yard gain to the 47. It's 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, they brought the blitz off the edge to the single receiver side and brought him from depth. And
2nd down and 8. Ottawa at the Mustang 47 trying to go back up by a field goal. McCullough fakes the give, throws left seam. That one's caught across the 40 to the 35-yard line. Jordan King picks up 12 and a first down for the Spirit. Ottawa having a lot of success through the air, especially on this possession. 3 different passing plays of 10 or more yards. 3 receivers right, 1 left. McCullough, play action fake, drops back deep, rolls out to his right, chased by Hakey to the right sideline, throws toward the end zone. It's caught by McLaughlin inside the 5, and he's tackled down at the 1. 34-yard gain. It's 1st and goal for the Spirit at the 1.
Yeah, that's such good coverage. And McCullough does a good job of buying time, getting out of the pocket and looking downfield. But it was really good coverage, just a good throw and a good catch.
And now the Spirit 3 feet away from taking a 3-point lead. McCullough out of the pistol with 3:04 left in the first half. 3 receivers left, 1 right. 1st and goal from the Mustang 1 to throw a fade right corner to McLaughlin. And that one's batted away by Jamal Jones. An incompletion. And they'll try again with 2nd and goal.
See, I'm going to say the same thing here for Ottawa. If I were them, I'd take my time a little bit and maybe running the ball right there on first down just to keep the clock running. If you don't score, that's even better because all you're going to do is give the ball back to Morningside with a lot of time left.
Yeah, there's still 2:55, and like you mentioned, the clock's now stopped after the incompletion. 2nd and goal at the 1. Pistol set. McCullough gives it right side. Moreland right into the end zone for a Spirit touchdown. Shamar Moreland, for the 2nd time on the ground, is into the end zone, and the Spirit take the lead. It's 30-28 in favor of Ottawa on the People's Bank scoreboard.
What did you say in pregame? Whoever has the ball last?
Yeah.
It's starting to look like that right now.
Whoever outscores the other at this point as well. I mean, that's...
Daniel, I don't want to be critical, but every team that wins outscores the other.
Well, yes.
No, I'm joking.
It's that great analysis.
I know what you mean, though.
Michael Hall with the point after kick, able to put it through. And Ottawa currently leads Morningside 31-28, 2:51 to play before half. We'll take a 30-second break, and like Bob alluded to, Morningside's going to get the football with some time here before halftime. We're back in 30 It's Mustang football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We're about to be back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Daniel Verstegen, Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland's down on the sideline. 2:51 to play before halftime. 14th-ranked Ottawa leads second-ranked Morningside 31-28 on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Mustangs get the ball here before the halftime break with 2:51 to play. Here's Michael Hall with a booming boot. Sails out of the end zone on the fly for a touchback, and it will be Mustang football from their own 25-yard line. Bob, let's kind of talk about what we're kind of going to be expecting here for Morningside. They have all three timeouts. They obviously want to go into the half with the lead because Ottawa is going to get the football to start the second half. You're expecting to see a good mix of run and pass here on this possession?
Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to run the ball. I mean, but here you got Austin Johnson getting soloed up over here, and you see how they got the out to him all day long if they want.
Here's the out of the gun, a flag before the play. Sims breaks free across the 30, 35, 40, and he tackled from behind at the 42-yard line, about the 43. Picks up 18. There was a flag on the play.
Well, it's either offsides or it's illegal procedure by Austin Johnson because when the side judge throws it,
offsides.
Right.
So basically a free play. 18-yard gain for Anthony Sims and a first down for the Mustangs to the 43. Yeah, they let the play run, didn't blow it dead, so that limits what kind of penalties could be. Here's 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from their own 43, 2:37 in the half. A screen pass left side. Johnson has some blockers outside the left numbers 45. And he's tackled up the sideline to the 47, picks up 4, and it's 2nd and 6.
And that play isn't just an extension of the run game. I mean, that's literally all it is. But the outside linebacker made a nice play there. He fought off the block by Jurgesmeyer to make the tackle.
I believe that's Christian Vaville there, that outside defensive end, rush linebacker kind of thing. Here's 2nd down and 6. Handoff Sims looking for a hole. Has one across midfield. 45 between the hashes. 40. And first down yardage to the Spirit 39-yard line for Anthony Sims. He gets 14 and a first down for the Mustangs.
And that's why you're not afraid to run the ball. I mean, you can run the ball and get chunks right now.
1:55 to play in the half, 31-28 Ottawa on the People's Bank scoreboard. Now 4 receivers line up on the left side of the line of scrimmage, 1 receiver right at the Ottawa 39. Dalenchek with an empty backfield. Letting some clock wind down, now drops back, pump fakes the screen, looks to throw deep over the middle, caught by Jurgensmeyer on the left seam, a sliding grab inside the 20. Down to the 19-yard line, 20 yards. It's 1st and 10 into the red zone.
Well, they got 4 receivers over there this time, and they put the running back to the single side, and they look like they kind of faked a little hash screen and hit Reed running right down the seam.
2 right, 1 left of Dalenchek now in the gun, a tight end left side in Tuifua. Minute 24 in the half. 1st and 10 of the Spirit 29. A handoff up the middle. Sims looking to bounce off tackle. He couldn't get there. Only a gain of 1 to the 18. Good stop by Eric Holman, the safety. Brings up 2nd down and 9.
Look at the 2 different approaches defensively. When Morningside has 3-by-1s, Ottawa does hardly even honors this single side receiver. I mean, the corner's over here, don't get me wrong, but he's 7 yards off. He's got inside leverage. Now, when Ottawa's in a 3-by-1 set, Morningside's outside linebackers out there helping on that number 1 receiver.
2nd and 9, outside pass to the left sideline. Jurgensmeyer down to the 10. He gets wrestled down inside the 5 at the 3. Picks up 15, and it's 1st and goal for the Mustangs with 46 seconds in the half. Morningside fans, I think, wanted a horse collar or something on that tackle. They don't get it. It's now 1st and goal. They've spotted at the 4. We have a whistle and a timeout. And it's a timeout for Ottawa. That is their 2nd timeout of the half. 46 seconds left in the half. It's 31-28. Ottawa leading Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard. While we have a little bit of time, let's Thank our sponsors bringing you Mustang football each and every week this season and leading us into the playoffs here. Great sponsors like Absolute Screen Art, Bob Rose, Point After, Bush Dry Cleaners, Dairy Queen, along with Drilling Pharmacy, our pregame sponsor, Echo Electric, Fazoli's, Her Health, Hy-Vee, Jimmy John's, Jolly Time, Popcorn, Lewis Electric, Lonnie Hall Realtor with Factor Realty, and Longlines, a great sponsor of our post-game show that comes up at the end of every contest here on KMNS. And also coming up at halftime, do want to remind you, we'll break down the first half for you. Bob and I will chit-chat about what we saw in the first half, and we'll also take a look at scores around the NAIA Football Championship Series. There are 5 other games taking place concurrently with this one. There will be a game tomorrow afternoon at noon. Well, we're missing a first-round contest due to Indiana Wesleyan having to forfeit their playoff appearance due to playing an ineligible player earlier on this season. So only 7 first-round games instead of 8 will be played. Here's first and goal for the Mustangs. 46 seconds of the half, an offset I formation. Fullback shielded left. Handoff up the middle to Sims. Around the left side. Broke a tackle. Drags a defender into the end zone for a Mustang touchdown. Sims' third score of the afternoon. And Morningside retakes the lead. It's 34-31 Mustangs on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Well, one, that's too easy.
Yes.
I mean, that's just too easy for Morningside to go that far in that amount of time. But I'll also say this. There might be enough time for Ottawa to come down and
No
score,
kidding.
too, because watching their field goal kicker in pregames, he was kicking from 50 yards going in this direction.
Yeah, he's made one from 40 in a game, but, yeah, he does have the leg for it. Chase Carter's point after kick is through the uprights. It's good. Morningside leads 35-31 over Ottawa on the People's Bank scoreboard. 41 seconds left in the half. We'll take a quick 30-second break. We're back with more Mustang football after this break. We return to Elwood Olson Stadium in 30 seconds on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS Sioux City. Daniel Verstag, Bob Goodvin up in the Irving and Carolyn Jensen press box. Nathan Hoagland's down on the sideline for us. 41 seconds left in the first half. Morningside up on Ottawa, 35-31 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Another touchdown run from Anthony Sims. It's a 7-play, 75-yard drive. That took 2 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock. Ottawa has 41 seconds left in the half. Chase Carter will try and kick it away from Shamar Moreland, who has returned 2 kicks for a touchdown this season and 2 punt returns for a touchdown this season. And here we go. Carter will try and do his best here. He approaches and sends a right-footed high end-over-end kick. Moreland can field it. He takes it from his own 3-yard line. Outside the left hash to the 10, 15, 20. Left numbers 25, 30, 35. Moreland cuts back toward the numbers and is tackled forward to the 40-yard line. A great return for Moreland. It is 1st and 10 for the Spirit. And now, Bob, you talk about the field goal being in play. 32 seconds. You have a timeout. This is a legit chance. I don't know if Ottawa can take the lead, but they can sure cut it to 1.
Well, 30 yards and you're in field goal range. And,
right.
And with 32 seconds left in a timeout, there's plenty of time to do that.
So 1st and 10 for the Spirit. Austin McCullough will at least try and get the Spirit 3, if not see if they can get to the end zone before halftime. Again, the Spirit will get the second half kick. McCullough drops to throw. Screen pass was deflected away by Weston Schultz. They were trying to find Chester Riley. Schultz around the edge, knocks it away. It's 2nd and 10 with 28 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, it's a good thing he did that because they're going to run the little swing pass to the tailback, and there was a lot of green grass in front of him.
2nd down and 10 now. Mustangs by 4. 28 seconds left in the half of the People's Bank scoreboard. From the Spirit 40, McCullough throws right side, short of Brandon McLaughlin and incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 10, 25 seconds in the half.
That's probably the first bad pass we've seen him throw all the first half.
Yeah, my goodness. I mean, he's been throwing the ball all over the place. He's 24 of 35 for 323 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, but you can't really blame him for the interception. That was a deflected ball off the arm of McCullough. Now 3rd down and 10, a handoff up the middle. Chester Riley cuts back left side to the numbers, 45-50. Cats out of bounds with first down yardage to the Mustang 49 right at midfield, a gain of about 11. And it's 1st down and 10 for the Spirit.
You know, one of the things I watch in these games is the spot by the ref. Like right there, he backed that ball up 2 yards, it looked like.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's not a generous spot for the Spirit at all. 18 seconds left in the half at midfield. McCullough throws, left numbers in and out of the hands of Antonio Day at the 45-yard line. Incompletion, 2nd and 10, 14 seconds left in the half.
you could see what happened there. As soon as that ball was thrown to him, the receiver turned his head looking for a space to run the ball. And whenever you take your eye off the ball like that, you're going to drop it most of the time.
2nd down and 10 now. And Ottawa needs quite a bit more yards, I would think. Trying to get down at least to the 30-yard line, if not more, to see if they have a chance to kick a field goal before halftime. McCullough throws high over the middle and incomplete of Ian Zamudio. 3rd down and 10. There's now only 9 seconds left in the half. The Spirit do have one timeout in case they complete one over the middle for first down yardage and want to call a timeout, get their field goal unit on there. But now 3rd down and 10, 9 seconds to play in the first half. Mustangs by 4. So the best the Spirit can do with a field goal, cut it to 1. Out of the pistol, McCullough to throw. Drops it off into the flats. This one's Chester Riley getting brought down for a loss back at his own 49-yard line. And the clock will run out on the first 30 minutes of the NAIA Football Championship Series. Our score at halftime, 2nd-ranked Morningside 35, 14th-ranked Ottawa 31 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Do note that Cooper Von Sagern is slow to get up on the play. He's being attended to by Katie Burford, the athletic trainer at Morningside University. When we come back, we'll take a look at our first half stats. We'll break down the scores for you around the country, and Nathan's going to talk with Coach Ryan, get his thoughts heading into the locker room on this one. Again, it's 2nd-ranked Morningside 35, 14th-ranked Ottawa 31 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Take a break. Our halftime coverage gets started in 4 minutes on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. And we welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium on the campus of Morningside University. Daniel Versteg with Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. We'll get some input here from Nathan in just a moment, see what he's got for us at halftime. Again, our halftime score, second-ranked Morningside leads 14th-ranked Ottawa University of Arizona by a score of 35-31 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. And well, let's take a look at, the scoring summary has a lot. We have 66 points in the first half. Just know that we've had a lot of back and forth. We had, aside from the first quarter where Morningside scored the first 14 points, Ottawa answered with the next 10. And then we went Morningside touchdown, Ottawa touchdown, Ottawa touchdown, Morningside touchdown, Ottawa touchdown, Morningside touchdown. There we go. We got it all. It's 35-31. In favor of the Mustangs. Let's break down our first half stats for you. And boy, they're pretty even here. For Ottawa, they have 364 yards of total offense. That's 322 passing, 42 yards rushing. And the Spirit penalized 4 times for 35 yards. Ottawa is 5 of 10 on third downs and a perfect 3 for 3 on fourth downs. The Spirit 5 for 5 on red zone scoring chances. For Morningside, they have 373 yards of total offense, 193 passing, 180 rushing. Just a very balanced attack for the Mustangs offensively. Mustangs did force a turnover. They intercepted Ottawa once. They have punted the ball once and have been penalized 3 times for 40 yards. Morningside is 5 of 8 on third down tries, 1 for 2 on fourth down, and a perfect 3 for 3 when getting into the red zone trying to score. Individual numbers here. Ottawa, Austin McCullough, passing the football, 25 of 38 for 322 yards and a touchdown and an interception. Running the football, how about Shamar Moreland? 5 carries, 5 yards, 2 touchdowns. Marcellus Chester Riley, 11 carries, 30 yards and a score. Receiving the football, you have Brandon McLaughlin. He has 7 catches, 120 yards and a touchdown. Right now, you have 9 different receivers that have at least 1 reception, and 8 of them have 2 receptions or more currently in this ball game. In the kicking game, Michael Hall had a 22-yard field goal. He's 4 for 4 on point after tries. And defensively, the Spirit are led by Eric Holman. He's been all over the place, 7 tackles. 6 of them have been solo. David Jones Jr., that nickelback, has 7 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. That's the only tackle for loss in the ball game for the Spirit. For Morningside on offense, Joe Dolenchek, 14 of 21 passing, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns. Some career notes here for you. Joe Dolenchek right now, second all-time on the career passing yards list at Morningside. He just moved past quarterback that you coach there, Coach Goodvin, and Craig Foby, passing Craig for second all-time on the Morningside career passing yards list. And you have to throw the ball a lot and be successful a lot to get past Craig's numbers. He put up 11,600 passing yards in his career at Morningside. Some of the other leaders here, Anthony Sims, 22 carries, 176 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. So Sims is now second all-time in career rushing yards at Morningside. He just passed Brandon Wager for second all-time. And Sims, 3 touchdowns. I know there was some confusion about that earlier this week. He is 6 touchdowns away from tying the career rushing touchdown record at Morningside, trying to chase A.P. Ponder's 69 rushing touchdowns. Well, and right now, Sims' 29 scores on the year are third all-time in program history in a single season. So a heck of a year for Sims, and he's having himself a heck of a game with 22 carries, 176 yards, 3 touchdowns. Receiving the football, Reed Juergensmeyer, 6 catches, 105 yards, and a touchdown. He is 5 touchdowns from tying Connor Niles' record. And, oh, man, he is 3 yards short of becoming only the second Mustang receiver with 5,000 career receiving yards. And, yeah, the other one, of course, Connor Niles. Caleb Schwagert, 3 catches, 40 yards, a touchdown. Austin Johnson, 4 catches and 40 yards. Defensively, Lonell Boyd Jr. has the only interception, only turnover of the ball game, and the defensive numbers for the Mustangs looking pretty good. Tyler Wingert has 10 tackles right now. You have a tackle for loss each for Jalen Portis and Cooper Von Sagern, and half a tackle for loss each from Weston Schultz, Drew Bessie, Zach Keller, and Dominic Barrett. And again, Lonell Boyd Jr. with that interception. Chase Carter is 5 for 5 on point after tries. All right, lots to unpack there in the first half, Bob. First of all, We saw that second quarter see, well, what was it, 14-10 at the end of the first. It's now 35-31. We saw 21 points from both sides. I mean, we're getting into a point right now where I think you mentioned it there in the second quarter. We've probably been talking about it all broadcast. Whoever has the football last and is given the last chance to take the lead, we'll end up winning this game, it seems like.
Well, I think when the game's over, we're going to look back and say it came down to one stop somewhere along the line or a turnover somewhere along the line. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're thinking defensively is just somewhere we got to get one stop.
Right.
I mean, and it might be the first stop of the second half. It might be the last stop of the game, but just somewhere get a stop, and that turns the possession arrows around. And so.
And, we've seen that. We saw Ottawa force a turnover on downs on Morningside, and Morningside was able to intercept a pass. So we've seen one in the first half each. But, the key is going to be that second one. And, when you take a look at how these two offenses have been clicking, Bob, it's Ottawa through the air. Morningside's getting it done both ways. Anthony Sims is running the ball well. Joe's throwing a good ball. He's underthrown a couple of guys. Keep that in mind. But overall, I think he's been throwing the ball well. I know you're an offensive guy, but if you're in that defensive meeting trying to get that stop, what are some of the things that could be being discussed to try and figure out how we stop the scoring right now?
Well, if Ottawa doesn't stop the run, they have no chance. I mean, if you can't stop the run, your chance of winning the game just is not very good. So I think they got to do something schematically to stop the run because their front six, their middle six guys is not doing it,
sure.
Needless to say. So they got to get another guy in there somehow, and whether that's a safety or get that Sam linebacker back in the box. But that's not where he wants to play. I guarantee you that. I mean, so, but I would say that's got to be priority number one for Ottawa. And the play of the game in the first half is the Ottawa DB not catching the interception.
Right.
I mean, that's a 7-point play at least, if not 14-point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as of right now, that's the play of the game.
Right. For Morningside, as we were watching this punter in pregame, and he's booting this thing at least 65 yards on the fly. He's out there warming up right now. Thankfully we haven't seen the special teams get into this one, but if you're Morningside's defense, Ottawa, I mean, you've kind of done what you want to. You've been able to shut them down on the ground, but they're having so much success throwing the football. Morningside has been able to get some pressure, been able to get in the backfield sometimes, but for the most part, Bob, Ottawa's quarterback, Austin McCullough, has been able to kind of just live back there in the pocket and be able to make the plays that he needs to have success.
Well, they're not running your traditional drop-back game. I mean, he's not in the shotgun and taking 3 steps and they're throwing the ball down vertically all the time. They're doing a really good job of mixing it up, doing a good job of throwing quick. And one of the things, I will tell you this, I think McCullough might be the best throwing quarterback we've seen this year. I think he sits in the pocket nice, and if you look, he can spin it.
Right.
I mean, he can throw the ball, and he's athletic enough to buy himself a little bit of time back there, and I'm impressed with him. And the other thing I'd say is, and I said this at the Northwestern game, I think Northwestern had the best set of receivers we'd seen all year. These guys compare.
Right.
I mean, they're different. I mean, they're smaller. They might be a little bit faster. But they catch the ball so well. They catch the ball in traffic so well. And other than that last drive of the first half, they haven't dropped very many balls other than the interception, of course. But I think Morningside's a little fortunate that they did drop those 2 balls at the end of the half.
You've alluded to it on so many of these plays that end up in big yards, whether it's 20, 30 yards for Ottawa. But you've said on a few of these plays, man, that was great coverage. I mean, Morningside seems to be doing the right things defensively, but either just doesn't have enough time or isn't doing it perfectly to be able to make the stops that they need right now.
Well, I think you got to give Ottawa credit there. I think schematically they're doing some very good things, not only in their routes, but their RPO game is very effective, and a lot of those short passes are really RPOs, and the Morningside linebackers are playing it about as well as they can play it. It's just a very difficult play to stop if you're going to sit in 2 high safeties.
Right.
And I think Morningside has to do that because of the threat of Ottawa's speed.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Yeah, the deep ball has been there all game. I mean, we've seen big gains. Ottawa's been able to convert 3rd down and 16, 3rd down and 10, and 3rd down and 11 almost with ease. I mean, they've been doing it very, very well. And that's why it's only a 4-point game here at halftime. Morningside leading the Spirit of Ottawa University, Arizona, 35-31 is our score at our halftime break. Let's go down here to the third member of our crew. That is Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. Nathan was able to get some input here before the halftime break. Nathan, what kind of things were you able to hear heading into the locker room?
Yeah, Coach Ryan, the first thing that he came out of his mouth to me was defense needs to get stops. Kept it nice and simple there. He said they would love to have more pressure on their QB, but he said they're coming down with those 50-50 balls. And they're just throwing it really quick, that quick release that you guys have talked about. And offensively, off to a great start, and it just needs to keep on rolling.
Well, we hope it does keep on rolling. Hey, Nathan, before we let you go, did you hear anything about Cooper Von Sagren's status? I know he went down on a kickoff earlier. He was able to he went down before the halftime break. Did you hear anything about him?
Yeah, I asked Coach Ryan about him. I was like, is he all good? He went, yeah, he's fine. We'll get him fixed up, and we'll see if he's still good after that.
All right, that's good to hear. We hope he does stay good. It is halftime right now. Morningside leading Ottawa 35-31 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to check out the scores from around the NAIA Football Championship Series. We've got 5 other opening round contests going on alongside this one. We've got one that'll kick off tomorrow at noon and one that is not played due to a team having to withdraw for the playoffs due to an academic infraction. We'll take a break. We'll come back in 2 minutes. Take a look at scores around the country after this break on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium for our halftime coverage. Daniel Versteg, Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland's down on the sideline. Again, halftime here at Elwood Olson Stadium. Second-ranked Morningside leads 14th-ranked Ottawa, 35-31 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Let's take a look at the scores around the NAIA, the Football Championship Series, 66th Annual NAIA Football Championship Series. We'll remind you that due to an infraction sent down on the Indiana Wesleyan football team, they had to withdraw from the playoffs, so Kansas Wesleyan gets the automatic move on into the quarterfinals of the NAIA Football Championship Series. So they are our first team in. Our second team in is 12th-ranked Kaiser of Florida. They defeat Reinhardt 16-13. A 9-play, 75-yard drive that was finished with 2 minutes and 19 seconds left, finished by a Marquez Burgess 12-yard touchdown run. Put the Seahawks up by 3, and they never looked back. They led 16-13 at the end, and were able to ride that to a win. So the Seahawks move on to the round of 8. Them and Kansas Wesleyan are the only two we have tickets punched for to the quarterfinals of the NAIA Football Championship Series. Here are the scores of the games currently going on around the country. In Ann Arbor, Michigan, the Concordia Cardinals are all over St. Xavier. They lead the Cougars 30-3 with 12:02 left in the third quarter. 339 yards of offense for Concordia. That's Coach Andrew Rohde's former team. He was offensive coordinator of the Cardinals for a number of years. St. Xavier has 149 yards of offense. Right now, Gavin Brooks, the quarterback of the Cardinals, 15-21, 228 yards and a touchdown. 3 rushing touchdowns from 3 different running backs for Concordia as they lead St. Xavier 30-3 just coming out of halftime. In Indianapolis, 9th-ranked Southwestern College of Kansas leads 7th-ranked Marion 17-6 in the third quarter. How about this from the Mound Builders? They lead by 11. And you have 224 yards of offense from Thomas Yam, 2 touchdown passes for him. Both of them going to Keyshawn Jones, 5 catches, 100 yards, 2 scores. As again, the Mound Builders lead the Knights 17-6 in Indianapolis. In Des Moines, well, we just had a score change here. Dickinson State finally gets on the scoreboard, but they trail Grandview big, 31-7, 5:01 left in the third quarter. The Vikings held a 31-0 lead at halftime. I beg your pardon. That was at the end of the first quarter. Grandview put up 31 points in one quarter, did not score in the second. Dickinson State scored in the third. They trailed 31-7 on Grandview. And a game that has a lot of local interest in Orange City. Northwestern currently leads Central Methodist of Missouri by a score of 17-7 with 8:26 left in the third quarter there. And not a whole lot of offense being put up. The Red Raiders only 197 yards of offense. Central Methodist 164. Tyson Koima is 14 of 18, 124 yards and a touchdown. But here's a key stat. He's also thrown 2 interceptions in this one. Blake Anderson has the 1 touchdown for the Red Raiders. And I believe the other score came on defense. Yeah, Jaden Snyder, interception return touchdown for the Red Raiders. Catavius Taylor had a touchdown reception from Paxton DeLaurent for Central Methodist. So those are our scores. Right now, I believe, we have, except for the upset in Georgia, Kaiser beating Reinhardt and Southwestern leading Marion. The rest of the way, it is the higher seeds leading, including here in Sioux City with our score. Second-ranked Morningside 35, 14th-ranked Ottawa 31. We are just about ready to start the second half of action. We'll see what these two teams came up with for adjustments in the locker room. And it'll be Ottawa getting the opening kickoff of the second half. 30 minutes to determine who is joining Kaiser and Kansas Wesleyan, already punching their tickets into the quarterfinals. Will it be Morningside or will it be Ottawa? We are ready to go. Chase Carter's teed it up, sends a right-footed, high end-over-end kick, a little pooch kick. It is fielded at the 25-yard line on a fair catch at about the 26. So Ottawa University will get 1st and 10, virtually on a touchback. They'll start at their own 26-yard line. So if you're Ottawa here, Bob, you want to see what from the Spirit offensively as they try and retake the lead and you know, I think the big thing is trying to keep that momentum going that they had going in the second quarter.
Yeah, let's just come out and throw the ball and you do what we've been doing the whole game, and that's throw the ball with some success.
Yeah, McCullough's having himself a great game. 322 yards passing at halftime. Some great numbers there. Here is 1st and 10, a handoff around the right side. It's Shamar Moreland out across the 25 to the 30 and tackled at the 31-yard line. That's a gain of 5 for Moreland. Brings up 2nd down and 5.
But that's a good play. I mean, the gain 5 yards running the ball on 1st down is a very, very good, productive play for them.
Yeah, you always say you want to get at least 3 or 4 yards on 1st down or average per play to make sure you have success. Here's a handoff up the middle. That is Moreland again up the left seam, and he's spun around at the 33-yard line. He's able to inch forward for another yard to the 34. It's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 2.
I'm going to say this the whole second half, but every third down is a huge play.
Yes. Ottawa went 5 of 10 on third downs in the first half. Morningside 5 of 8. And the Mustang defense trying to feed off this energy from the crowd at Elwood Olson Stadium. From the 34, McCullough play action throws short right side and way wide of Ian Zamudio and incomplete. It's 4th down and 2. And they're keeping the offense out there.
Well, they went back to that zone stick RPO, and if you notice, who was the Morningside defender around the play? The safety, number 4, and that's
Lonell Boyd Jr. there, and Morningside in their nickel package. 3 down linemen, 4th down and 2 at the 34. Ottawa going for a handoff. Moreland 1st down and more across the 36, across the 40, and tackled down to the 42. A gain of 8 when they needed 2, and it's 1st and 10 for the Spirit.
What Ottawa's going to do is run the ball against that 3-man front. They literally only have 3, 4, maybe 5 guys in the box.
Handoff up the middle. It's Moreland. They run again on the 3-man front, but this time Carter Anderson makes them pay for it. No gain. Weston Schultz there. All kinds of Mustangs in on the stop. It's now 2nd down and 10.
And that probably takes the running game out of it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you think they go to a pass right away here?
I think so, yep.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Spirit. It's Morningside 35, Ottawa 31. 13:25 to play in the third on the People's Bank scoreboard. Ottawa has 2nd and 10 from their own 42. A pistol set for McCullough. 2 receivers on either side of him. Now out of the gun and dropping back to throw. McCullough passes over the middle. That one's caught across midfield and just shy of the marker at the 49-yard line is Ian Zamudio. He picks up 9. It's 3rd and 1.
You know, I criticized the officials earlier for a couple spots, but that one, they're right on.
Yeah.
That's a very good spot right there.
And it is a good spot here for Morningside's defense. They have a chance to shut them down on 3rd and 1. There's a pass right side. It's caught by McLaughlin. Across the 40, up the right seam, 35, and down to the 34-yard line. 15 yards for McLaughlin. It's 1st and 10.
And that's another RPO. And Morningside brought both outside linebackers, so they're rushing 5. And the quarterback just did a good job of seeing the blitz and hitting the little slant route on the RPO.
12:38 in the third, 35-31 Mustangs. Out of a pistol, 1st and 10, handoff up the middle. Moreland dances his way through the defense across the 30, 25, and down to the 23-yard line. That's 11 for Moreland, and another 1st down for the Spirit.
Now, you look right now, Morningside's back in their normal defense. They got their 4 down linemen back in the game.
Yes, they do. And 4 defensive backs. Here's a handoff right side. Moreland takes a sweep outside the right numbers, 20. And just gives it up out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 5 into the red zone. Morningside leading Ottawa 35-31 on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Spirit with a nice methodical drive. They've taken almost 3 minutes off of this third quarter clock, beg your pardon. And now we have a
new ball.
Change of the football. Yes, we do. We got a Morningside ball that got in there, I believe.
Uh-oh.
Can't use another team's football.
Might be flat, might have some helium in it or something.
Morningside doctors their footballs. Deflategate.
Only for the other team.
Yeah, exactly. Here's 2nd down and 5. A handoff right side. It's Moreland. Gets a block. Right numbers. Dances away from a defender. And is able to just barely get a positive yard before he has stood up a forward progress at the 17. It's a gain of 1. It's now 3rd down and 4.
But you just see a world of difference when Morningside has their 4-man front in there. They just have a much difficult time running the ball, and when they're in their nickel 3-man front, they have success running the ball.
Here's 3rd and 4. Morningside's fans getting behind them, trying to make a stop in the red zone.
Got blitz coming down here.
2 receivers either side. Yeah, Pingle's on his toes there.
And look where the safety's standing right behind him. That tells you all the way that that's a blitz.
Yep. There goes Pingle. He comes with a blitz.
McCullough
throws
your RPO.
Over the middle for a 1st down. Out across the 13 to the 11-yard line. It's a good completion to Jordan King. It's 1st and 10 to the Mustang 11.
And that safety gave the blitz away, and the quarterback paused for a second and saw it, and then that's when they changed the play to that little RPO.
1st and 10 to the Mustang 11. McCullough out of the pistol. Hands off right. It is Moreland spinning away from a tackler inside the 10. Keeps his feet moving. And he's tackled in between the hashes at the 6. That's a gain of 5. It's 2nd and 5. Ottawa can get a 1st down without scoring. They would need to get the ball in between the 1-yard line and the goal line. So not a whole lot of room to pick up a 1st down without scoring, but it is possible. 10:38 to play in the third. What a drive here for Ottawa. As long as it ends in a touchdown, the Spirit have taken all of this third quarter clock that has run off to this point. That's 4.5 minutes. 3 receivers left, 1 right. 2nd and 5, for the Mustangs 6. Morningside shows a blitz and brings it with Pingle. Here comes Portis chasing McCullough to the right sideline. McCullough keeps to the 5, to the pylon, extends the ball over the plane, gets into the end zone for a Spirit touchdown. Austin McCullough, with what I believe is only his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season, has put the Spirit up 37-35 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Well, Morningside brought both outside linebackers. They had the perfect call, and the linebacker on the single receiver came untouched and needs to make that play in the backfield. And who was the guy who said McCullough can't run? I mean, wow, that was
impressive.
Maybe it's fight, flight, or freeze. I don't know. But, I mean, he ran the ball really well there. Uh-oh.
There's a high snap there. Great job by the punter in Bond to get it down. And point after kick by Michael Hall is good. Almost catastrophic on that one. But the Spirit lead Morningside 38-35. 10-14 to play in the third quarter. We'll take a 30-second break. Morningside gets the football when we return to Olsen Stadium. Here on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olsen Stadium. Right now it's the opening round of the NAIA Football Championship Series. Daniel Versteg and Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland's down on the sideline. We're going to check in with Nathan after this kickoff with our score 38-35. 14th ranked Ottawa leads 2nd ranked Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard. 10-14 to play in the third quarter. A long drive, 13 plays, 74 yards, took 4:46 off the clock and ends in a touchdown for the Spirit on a run by McCullough. Now Schweigert fields a bouncing ball at his own 7-yard line, takes it out right sideline 15 and tackled short of the 20 at the 18-yard line. Not decent field position. Morningside starts at their own 19. Let's check in with the third member of our crew, Nathan Hoagland, down on the sideline. Nathan, what's the feeling like after that first drive for the Spirit?
Yeah, the message right now down here on the sideline is points, points, points. We need more than them, so keep on scoring.
There you go. Thank you very much, Nathan, for that update. Yeah, that's sounds stupid, but yeah, you want to outscore your opponent. That's the big key. Here's Dahlcheck. 1st and 10 is zone 19. 3 receivers left, 2 right, an empty backfield. Oh, Ottawa jumps, a free play. Dahlcheck to throw deep over the left seam for Juergensmeyer, and he couldn't haul it in. There's a flag downfield as well. Juergensmeyer gets interfered with downfield, so we have an offsides back at the line of scrimmage, but this will be a pass interference on the free play. Morningside will pick up a big chunk of yards.
Well, that's good recognition by Dahlcheck to know that he's got a free play, and he knows he's got single coverage with Juergensmeyer running the seam route. So just throw him the ball, and if he catches it, he catches it. If not, you got the pass interference.
Yeah, Samori Alexander was the player that was guarding Juergensmeyer downfield and ends up inflicting pass interference on him. And so the Mustangs will obviously decline the offsides, take the pass interference. They have 1st down and 10, spotted at their own 34 now.
Yeah, I misspoke. He knew he had the offsides. I'm sorry, not the pass interference.
No, absolutely. He had the free play with the offsides, and the pass interference ended up resulting after it. So here's 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 35. Pistol set for Dahlcheck. Turns right, gives it to Sims. He bounces off tackle, right numbers, 35-40, and just gets shoved out of bounds at the 41-yard line. That's a gain of 7 for Sims. Brings up 2nd and 3. And to peel a couple of linemen off each other there. Mason Williams got kind of stuck underneath a defensive lineman there for the Spirit. Now it's 2nd down and 3 for the Mustangs. Under 10 minutes to play in the third. Ball at the Mustang 41-yard line. Here's Dahlcheck with 2 receivers left, 1 right. Sims off his right hip. Now motion Sims out of the backfield as a wide receiver on the right side. Belt high snap. Dalenchuk to throw. Deep drop. Passes over the middle. And a great diving catch by Zach Norton across the 45 into the Ottawa territory at the 43-yard line. That is a gain of 16 and a first down for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Norton and Jurgesmeyer running hip and hip down the line, and then he cuts off inside off of Jurgesmeyer's little pick.
Dalenchuk with a play-action fake, throws deep, left seam. Jurgensmeyer's open inside the 10, makes the catch, and gets brought down from behind at the 3. That's 40 yards and a first down and goal for the Mustangs. Jurgensmeyer comes up big. He was open behind the defense, and now Morningside 3 yards away from retaking the lead on the Spirit. 38-35, Ottawa with 9:10 to play in the third quarter and counting. Morningside with a first down and goal to go from the Ottawa University 3. It's Dalenchuk lining up under center with a single back in the backfield. 2 tight ends left, 1 right, receiver left. Dalenchuk with a give around the left side. Sims broke a tackle, inches forward, and comes up 2 yards short. He's down to the 2. Ottawa says the ball came out. And, well, we're going to have to peel this one away from the pile. Ottawa thinks they've got the football. They're pretty adamant about it.
Look on the yellow marker on the field.
Yep.
Not marker, but that's his beanbag.
Right.
So that usually means he saw a fumble.
And now Sims is slow to get up. It'll stay Morningside ball. Mike Nesbitt is out to talk to the Lions judge. Katie Burford is out to talk to attend to Anthony Sims, the athletic trainer for Morningside. And they're working on Sims's right leg. Oh, that is just awful to see Sims go down on that play. And, you know, that begs the question. Of course, hindsight's 20/20, but you wonder why that play didn't get blown dead a little bit sooner. With all of those Spirit defenders around him, now Coach Steve Ryan is out to attend to Sims. Again, I want to reiterate, it's Morningside football at the Ottawa 2-yard line right now. And Anthony Sims being attended to. Offensive linemen Dylan Miller and Tristan Johnson going out to help Anthony Sims off of the field. He gets onto his feet, and he's not putting any weight on those legs. That's not a good sight.
Yeah, I think it's a right ankle injury.
Yeah, they are carrying Anthony off of the field. Oh, boy, and what a running back he has been. What a player, what a leader he's been for the Mustangs. We hope we see him again, but we'll see what they do with him once they bring him to the training table. So now Ryan Cole is into the contest as the running back for Morningside. It's second down and goal for the Mustangs at the Spirit 2 after the 1-yard carry from Sims. Dalenchuk lining up under center in an offset I formation. Fullback shielded to the right. Dalenchuk with the give to Ryan Cole. Lowers his shoulder and punches into the end zone for the Mustang touchdown. Ryan Cole's first score of the afternoon. And Morningside retakes the lead. It's 41-38 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
That's just a great job by the right side of the Morningside offensive line. They got tremendous push into the end zone, and I could have scored on that play. And it would have took a while, but I would have scored.
Oh, I like hearing that. Here's the point after try for Chase Carter. Hold from Ladwig, the spot, and the kick laces out. It's all equals a point after try. 42-38, Morningside, 8:33 to play in the third quarter. We'll take a 30-second break. Ottawa gets the football when we return. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Daniel Versteg, Bob Goodvin with you up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland's down on the sideline. We'll get a word in from Nathan here in just a moment as Morningside scores a 5-play, 81-yard drive. Took a minute and about a half off the clock, 42-38. Morningside back on top of Ottawa of Arizona on the People's Bank scoreboard. But it did come at the cost of Anthony Sims. He is being looked at on the training table. We'll see if Nathan can get an update on Sims's condition at all or see what's going on down there. Chase Carter with a short pooch kick right side. Yeah, that's fair caught at the 32. A sliding catch to a knee at the 33. And a Morningside player slow to get up after that one. That's Garrett Hoagland being helped off the field. And we'll check in with Nathan Hoagland down on the field for us. Nathan, what kind of things or what can you see as they've been working on Anthony Sims?
Yeah, they're definitely looking at his lower legs. I guess one of the things the coaches said they're worried about is what may have happened at the bottom of the pile, whether he got it twisted up or who knows what, but that's their biggest concern.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Nathan. Yeah, at that point, you hope it, I guess, if there is an injury, you hope it is just a twisting and not anything worse, that it gets crumpled up and things like that under the weight of a lot of players. But they'll attend to Anthony Sims, and now they got to attend to Garrett Hoagland, who came up kind of awkwardly after the play, and he had to be helped off the field as well.
Well, he got his bell rung.
Yeah.
That's his problem. He's woozy.
Yeah. All right, it's 1st and 10 for Ottawa at their own 36. McCullough lining up with 3 receivers right, 1 left out of the pistol, turns and gives it around the right side. It is Chester Riley. Oh, and Jalen Portis stops him at the 38-yard line, only a gain of 2. It's 2nd down and 8.
I was wondering if Morningside was going to do this. They're now pressing the receivers, and they're doing that just to get them rerouted to throw off the timing of the route. See down here?
Right. Yeah, Jamal Jones within 2 yards of the line, 1 yard of the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 8 for the Spirit at their own 38. 3 receivers left, 1 right. It's McCullough dropping a throw, chucks it deep over the right sideline and well overthrowing Brandon McLaughlin. Incomplete. Jamal Jones with some great coverage downfield. It's 3rd down and 8.
He needs to throw that ball more in the middle of the field. I mean, there's no safety in the middle of the field because of the coverage. And if he throws the ball in the middle of the field, he allows the receiver to run and get it.
Well, you can hear the Mustang fans have gotten a little louder at Olsen Stadium. It's 3rd down and 8 for the Spirit. They've been good on 3rd down. Here's McCullough to throw. Passes right seam. It's deflected in the air and incomplete. Drew Bessie keeps it away from Ian Zamudio. And it's 4th down and 8 for the Spirit at their own 38. And for the first time this afternoon, the Spirit are forced to punt.
And that might be that one stop we talk about right there, because if Morningside can go down and score, you flip your possession arrow, and you're a possession ahead at that point.
Austin Bond is the punter. He is a 3-time All-American punter in the NAIA. Sooner Athletic Conference Special Teams Player of the Year in the spring. He transferred in from the University of Colorado. He can boot it. We'll see what he comes up with here. Schwagert is at his own 15. Bone. Oh, he gets a good leg into it. Schwagert standing his own 18, fields it. And he gets away for the first defender, takes it left sideline to the 20, 25-30 as a block, 35-40 across midfield into Spirit territory to the 20, to the 10, into the end zone. Touchdown Morningside. No flags on the play. Caleb Schwagert takes it 82 yards to the house on the punt. And Morningside leads 48-38 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
That play was set up at the line of scrimmage, and the Morningside front did an excellent job of holding up the punt team for Ottawa, and he just outkicked his coverage.
That is the 3rd career punt return touchdown for Caleb Schwagert. He is only the 2nd Mustang in program history with 3 career punt returns for a score. And now Chase Carter with a point after try, able to put it through the uprights. It's good. 49-38. Morningside leads Ottawa by 2 scores with 7:31 to play in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a 30-second break. We're back to Elwood Olsen Stadium after this on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Daniel Versteg alongside Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. Morningside's offense can take a break for a possession. An 82-yard punt return touchdown for Caleb Schwagert as Morningside leading Ottawa of Arizona 49-38 on the People's Bank scoreboard. 7:31 to play in the third. Schwagert now the second Mustang in program history with 3 career punt returns for a touchdown, joining former teammate Connor Niles in that category. And now Morningside gets to boot it away. Chase Carter from his own 35 will try and keep it away from Shamar Moreland, who is dangerous of doing the exact same thing. There's a pooch kick out to the 20-yard line. Moreland runs up and fields it left sideline 30, and he spins away from a tackler across the 33 to the 35. Good return for Moreland. It's 1st and 10. Let's take a look, or let's send it down to the third member of our crew. It's Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. Nathan, boy, that punt return seems to rejuvenate that sideline more.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. It lit a spark into every single person on the sideline, and obviously it's good things.
Oh, it's a very good thing. Thank you very much, Nathan. Yeah, that just rejuvenized everybody here, and we're ready to go with Ottawa's first possession now off the punt return. 1st and 10 of the 35. McCullough to throw. He rolls out to his right. Chased by Schultz. Throws right seam. It's caught and breaking free across midfield to the 45-40. And that's Richard Montello with his first catch of the contest to the Mustang 39. He picks up 26. It's 1st and 10.
They're just hitting little curl routes right in the seam, and if he cuts that ball back into the middle instead of outside, he would have gained quite a few more yards.
So 1st and 10 now. The Spirit trying to cut it back to a one-score game. Out of the pistol, it is McCullough to throw. Pump fake, steps up, evades one tackler, breaks away from another, throws right sideline, and a catch across the 10. It is Zamudio, wrestled down by Lonell Boyd Jr. at the 5. It's a 34-yard gain for Zamudio. It's 1st and goal.
Yeah, I think the Morningside safety wanted offensive pass interference.
Yeah.
He was suggesting to the referee he got pushed.
Yeah, suggesting pretty strongly. 1st and goal at the 5. Handoff up the middle. It is Shamar Moreland. And Moreland is tackled for no gain at the 5-yard line. 2nd down and goal upcoming for the Spirit.
I would delete the running game page against Morningside's 4-man front. They just have 0 success running the ball against their 4-man front.
Boy, I'd love to go back and figure out the breakdown against the 4-man front versus the 3-man front. I'm sure it's night and day. Here's 2nd and goal from the 5-play action. Pass quick over the middle, deflected away and incomplete. In and out of the hands of Antonio Day. Drew Bessie on the coverage. The incompletion forces 3rd and goal from the 5.
That could have been pass interference. He hooked him with his left arm, and the receiver had inside leverage on him, and when he hooked him with his left arm, it offset the leverage.
Right. 6:12 left in the third. 49-38. Morningside leading Ottawa on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Spirit trying to change that, though, here. 3rd and goal from the 5. 2 receivers either side. Pistol set. McCullough faces a blitz. Dumps it off into pressure. And Lonell Boyd Jr. tackles Shamar Moreland back at the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 3. And the Spirit bring out their field goal unit to at least salvage 3 points. So a big stop here for the Mustangs, and this is a big sequence for the Mustangs on defense. They forced a punt on the last possession. They're able to hold Ottawa here to 3 or potentially 0, depending on if the kick is good. This will be a 24-yarder off the right hash for the left-footed kicker in Michael Hall. The hold by Bond. Oh, it's a bad snap. It gets blocked. And the Mustangs bat it down to the 5-yard line. And it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 5-yard line. Oh, a block kick. That was a bad snap, bad exchange all around, and the Mustangs make the Spirit pay for it. And Morningside takes over at their own 4. Well, there we go. Special teams is having an impact, but in a good way here for the Mustangs. Couldn't quite see who got the hand up on there and blocked the kick.
I think Ottawa's claiming that a Morningside player touched that ball. And if that's true, Ottawa ended up with the ball beyond the 1st down marker. And that would be a 1st down if Morningside player touched the ball.
Point.
And that's what they're arguing about right now.
Now, Mike Nesbitt, the head coach of the Spirit, making that case to the White Hat. Yeah, you are right. After the block, Weston Schultz leapt up and batted it down.
He did, yeah.
Coach Ryan is standing now at his own 15-yard line, and Mike Nesbitt's not happy.
Well, that's a bad call.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a game-changing call right there.
Yeah, he is way outside the coach's box. He is giving it to the side judge. Now our officials are going to talk about it. And Morningside's offense backs off.
Well, there's no way you're going to change the call after talking to
now.
him, but I mean, he's got every right in the world to be upset.
Well, we can't hear the white hat over the band but they do signal Morningside first down of their own 4. Yeah, Mike Nesbitt is still fuming over there at midfield, and I would agree with you there. That's that would be a pretty bad call there. Here's a handoff up the middle. It's Ryan Cole. And the Spirit defense stop him at the 6. Only a gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8. Well, I don't know what the protest system is like in the NAIA.
Well, 0.
Yeah, well, there you go.
You ever heard of the snowballs chance?
I've heard it's not good, yeah.
Slim to none, and
Exactly.
Slim just left.
Here's 2nd and 8 at the 6. Morningside motions Sievert across the line of scrimmage to the left side. Dalenchek out of the pistol. Takes the handoff, throws left sideline. It's caught by Jurgensmeyer at the 11, and he is tackled right away by DeAndre Armstrong. That's a gain of 5. It's now 3rd and 3.
Well, if you're wearing a white jersey, you got to get off the field right now.
Yes, you do.
I mean, you just can't give them this 4-yard third down play.
4:35 left in the third. It's 49-38 Morningside up on Ottawa on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Mustangs have 3rd and 3 from their own 11-yard line. Dalenchek with 2 receivers on either side. Cole off his left hip in the backfield. Jurgensmeyer motions towards the slot. Dalenchek to throw. Passes over the middle. It's caught by Johnson at the 20-yard line. A flag comes out from behind the play where Joe Dalenchek was hit inside the 5. Johnson has a first down to the 20 regardless of the flag. We'll see. I believe it'll be roughing the passer.
Well, it's got to be roughing.
I would assume so.
Well, they're bringing the ball back.
Well, let's see what they got here.
Okay.
It is roughing the passer on the Spirit. And that'll be added on to the end of the play. And so 15 yards from the 20 moves the Mustangs up to their own 35 and have 1st and 10 again.
I bet that makes them feel a lot better on the other sideline.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Let's see. You blow a call, now you call roughing the passer.
Here's 1st and 10 of the 35. Dalenchek play action. Throws left sideline. Caught by Johnson to the 44. And he spun around across the 45 to the 46. Gain of about 10 there. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
Well, there's that out to the single receiver that we've been talking about.
4:05 left in the third. Mustangs by 11. Dalenchek at the pistol. 2 right, 1 left. Gives it up the middle. It's Ryan Cole. He has some yardage across the 45 and tackled hard at midfield. Gain of 5. It's 2nd and 5. Morningside has outscored Ottawa 14-7 here in this third quarter. Here's 2nd down and 5. Throw left sideline, deflected away. Oh, it's caught by Payne on the turf of the 46-yard line. He gains 4. That pass almost picked off. Instead, it's caught by Payne. It's 3rd and 1 at the Ottawa 46.
And that's Morningside's version of that RPO zone stick play. And, boy, the linebacker got underneath it and had 2 hands on the ball. Now, it would have been a good play, but if he catches that ball, that's 6 the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, nobody in front of him. 3rd down and 1, though, for the Mustangs from the Spirit 46. Dalenchek, 2 receivers right and 1 left. Motion Swaggart. Drops back to throw. Dalenchek over the middle. Swaggart across the 45. Right sideline 40, 35-30, 25-20. And he gives it up inside the red zone. Runs out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 26. It's 1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, they brought him in motion and ran him on shallow cross, and he was wide open.
And nobody came over the shallow receiver. 1st down and 10 now for the Mustangs at the Spirit 20. 2:50 and counting left in the third quarter. Morningside with 2 receivers on either side of Joe Dalenchek lining up in the gun. Takes the snap on the right hash. 3-step drop. Steps up in the pocket. Throws over the right seam. Caught by Jurgensmeyer in the end zone for a Mustang touchdown. Morningside has scored 3 touchdowns unanswered, and the Mustangs lead 55-38 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, they can't cover Jurgensmeyer.
Nope.
I mean, they just have no answer for him.
Yeah, Jurgensmeyer now 9 catches, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns in this ball game. He is the second wide receiver in program history with 5,000 career receiving yards. He's 4 touchdowns away from Connor Niles' program record and NAIA record, and the point after kick from Chase Carter is through the uprights. It's good. 2:36 to play in the third, 56-38. Morningside up on Ottawa on the People's Bank scoreboard. We are back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS Sioux City. We're back to Elwood Olson Stadium for the 66th annual NAIA Football Championship Series. Daniel Versteg, Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. 21 unanswered points for the Mustangs with 2:36 to play in the third quarter. Morningside is up on Ottawa University of Arizona, 56-38 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Capping off a 8-play, 96-yard drive. Took almost exactly 3 minutes off the clock, capped off by a touchdown pass to Reed Jurgensmeyer. Chase Carter's right-footed end-over-end kick, fielded at the 2-yard line by Shamar Moreland. He takes it out left seam to the 15, angles right seam 20-25, and is able to keep his footing across the 30 and tackled at the 31-yard line. Shamar Moreland gets out across the 30, 1st and 10 for the Spirit. Let's send it down to the third member of our crew. That's Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline for us. Nathan, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I mean, everything down here, momentum, all of it in Morningside's way, and you can really feel it on the sideline. Everyone's hyped up, everyone's ready to go, and everyone just wants to win.
Well, I don't doubt that for a moment there. Thank you very much, Nathan, for that update. Playoff football is some of the best football you can have. Here's 1st and 10 for the Spirit from their own 31. 3 receivers left, 1 right. McCullough drops to throw, steps up, chucks it deep over the right seam for McLaughlin. And he overthrows Brandon McLaughlin, and incomplete. 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
And see, that there again, they're running the post to the single receiver. The Morningside corner is pressing him and trying to reroute him, but as soon as he clears him, there's no safety in the middle of the field, and what he needs to do is throw the ball higher and into the middle of the field more and let number 2 run and get it.
Yeah, because again, he threw it right over the top.
Right over the top.
Yep. 2nd down and 10 here at the 31 for the Spirit. 2 receivers right, 2 left. McCullough in the gun. Short drop, dumps it off into the flats. It's Chester Riley, right numbers, and he's tackled hard by Isaac Pingle at the 34-yard line. A gain of 3 for Marcellus Chester Riley. It's 3rd down and 7.
You know, he's a good athlete,
yep,
but he's a little guy, and little guys are just easy to tackle.
Right.
And if he weighs 217 pounds, I weigh 217 pounds. And I don't weigh 217 pounds.
Here's 3rd down and 7 of the 34. McCullough throws over the middle. Great catch by McLaughlin. Out across the 45, across midfield, the Mustang 49. That's 17 and a 1st down.
The linebacker from Morningside could not play that any better.
Right.
He was right in front of it, and it's just a perfect throw and a better catch.
Yeah, to say the linebacker couldn't have played that better, McCullough couldn't have thrown a better ball.
No, you're exactly right.
1st and 10 for the Spirit at the Mustang 49. Minute 30 to play in the third. McCullough to throw, right sideline. It's caught by McLaughlin, and he is grabbed and run out of bounds by Jamal Jones at the 43 of Morningside. Gain of 6. It's 2nd and 4.
When Ottawa's 2-by-2 in their formations, Morningside won't press them, and then that just creates space and grass for the receivers to run to.
Lots of movement. Right off the snap ahead of a 2nd and 4. And
that's going to be a legal procedure.
Yep.
When the umpire calls it, it's definitely movement.
So 5-yard penalty backs up the Spirit to the Mustang 48, and now it'll be 2nd and 9. So the penalties Penalty bug getting to the Spirit there before that play. 2 seconds left in the third quarter. It's 56-38. Morningside leading Ottawa on the People's Bank scoreboard. 56 points allowed by the Spirit today, the most they've allowed this season. Dropping back to throw, it is McCullough dumping off into the flats, and a good catch by Sam Mason out across the 45 to the 43-yard line. I gave him only the 44. That's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down and 5.
And that's that shallow cross route that is just very difficult to stop, especially if you give him the freedom to settle in space. But if you go back to that play and look at the formation, these two receivers down here are both on the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. I think they are right now, too.
I would say so.
And now they backed up.
All right, they got one of them to back up. Here's 3rd down and 5 of the Mustang 44. Morningside brings the house. McCullough evades both of the outside linebackers, throws down the sideline.
Oh, boy.
McLaughlin made the catch across the 35 to the 33. What an outstanding grab. He picks up 11. It's 1st and 10.
What an outstanding play by McLaughlin. They brought both outside linebackers untouched, and he buys time with his feet.
And that'll be the end of the third quarter. McCullough to McLaughlin keeps the drive alive and keeps the Spirit on the field. We're through 3 quarters. 2nd-ranked Morningside, 56. 14th-ranked Ottawa, 38 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Take a break. We are back in 1 minute with the 4th quarter. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. And we're back to Elwood Olson Stadium, getting ready to start the 4th quarter. Daniel Versteeg, Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland's down on the sideline. Our score as we start the 4th quarter, 2nd-ranked Morningside 56, 14th-ranked Ottawa 38 on the People's Bank scoreboard. It's 1st and 10 for the Spirit of the Mustang 33 to start quarter number 4. McLaughlin out of the pistol, drops to throw, faces pressure, bootlegs left side, flag on the play. McLaughlin throws over the middle. It's deflected away by Lonell Boyd Jr., an incomplete, looking for Sam Mason. And, well, we're probably going to lose some yards on a flag here for the Spirit. And it will be a holding penalty called. So they'll go 10 yards back on the holding penalty. It'll be 1st and 20 back to the 43.
What makes it more difficult to play defense in this scenario is it's 4-down territory.
Right.
So the offense knows they got 4 downs to get the first down, and that 4th play is huge a lot of times.
But now they have 20 yards to pick up. It's 1st and 20 for the Spirit. McCullough throws it wide at McLaughlin. Incomplete. They were trying to go with one of those little shallow passes. Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, they came back with a little jailbreak screen, and the one thing you have to do as a quarterback in that scenario is give him an easy ball to catch, because he's catching the ball in an area where receivers don't like to be, and that's in the middle of the field around defensive linemen and behind linebackers.
2nd and 20 for the Spirit. 11 seconds gone in the 4th. Ottawa down by 18. McCullough drops to throw, pass over the middle, deflected away. Isaac Pingle got in between the receiver. Incomplete pass to Brandon McLaughlin. It's now 3rd and 20.
What you're seeing in the second half is one, they're kind of rerouting the receivers a little bit. They're a little more physical with them, but you're seeing linebackers get a lot more depth, it seems like, and they're getting underneath routes better.
So now 3rd down and 20. Let's see if Morningside has a couple more stops because, this is, like you mentioned, 4-down territory here for the Spirit. They need to get points, and they need to get points fast. Try and get back into this ball game. Down 18. That is a 3-score margin. 3rd down and 20 for the Mustang 43. McCullough to throw. Pump fakes, throws right sideline. Deflected away by Jamal Jones. And incomplete. Looking for the pass down the right sideline. The incompletion brings up 4th and 20.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's throwing that ball. They were bracketing the single receiver. They motioned the running back out to the wide side of the field here, and they could have just threw him the ball, and he could have picked up 5 to 10 yards and made 4th down a little more manageable.
Well, here is a 4th down and 20 from the Mustang 43. 3 receivers left. McCullough to throw, steps up in the pocket, and he had the ball stripped away on a sack by Schultz. It is picked up by the Spirit at the 41. Does not matter. It's a turnover on downs. It's 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 41. Schultz comes up with a big strip sack of McCullough. Weston Schultz has come up big so many times this season. That is his 3rd forced fumble of the year. And Morningside has 1st and 10 from their own 44. Well, they might have, did they call that incomplete or did they call him down on a sack? I'm not sure.
I think they called it an incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass.
Which actually benefits Morningside about 2 or 3 yards.
Technically it does. So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from their own 44-yard line. Morningside now trying to go up by as much as they can. Here's a handoff to Cole right up the middle. Has big positive yardage across the 45. And tackled at midfield for a gain of 6. It's 2nd and 4.
Yeah, you're going to see just a steady diet of the running game right now. And you watch the play clock, it's going to be down around 10 to 15 seconds every time. Mm-hmm. And by Morningside standards, that's slowing the game down.
Yeah, that's a big slowdown. Morningside has 2nd down and 4 from midfield at the Ottawa, or right at the 50-yard line. Dalenchek, 2 receivers either side, throws left sideline, caught by Johnson, spins away from a defender, 40, 35, and out of bounds in Ottawa territory at the 31-yard line. That's 19, and a 1st down for the Mustangs. Morningside keeps the ball moving. 13:52 to play in the ball game. Morningside all-time is 15-2 in opening round contests in the NAIA Football Championship Series. They have not lost an opening round game since 2011, and they have made every NAIA Football Championship Series since then. 1st and 10 to the Ottawa 31. Bootleg pass. Dalenchek throws over the middle for Michael Payne. Oh, he almost got under it. But a little too far thrown from Dalenchek. Incompletion, and it's 2nd and 10.
Well, if he doesn't overthrow him, it's going to get intercepted by the corner who's sitting on the backside that he might not have seen.
So now it is 2nd down and 10. Following that incompletion, 13:27 to play. Here in the ball game, Morningside of the Ottawa 31. Dalenchek out of the pistol. Around the right side, it's Cole. Breaks free across the 25. Broke a tackle across the 20 and tackled into the red zone of the 18-yard line. That's 13 yards and a 1st down for the Mustangs inside the 20.
Yeah, they're just having their way up front right now in the run game. The offensive line is just moving the Ottawa defensive line.
All right, now Morningside's running numbers. Yeah, they are impressive. 203 yards, 216 yards rushing now, following that 13-yard run for Ryan Cole. 1st down and 10 to the Ottawa 18-yard line. 3 receivers left, none right. Dalenchek in the gun. Belt high snap, gives it up the middle. It's Cole up the right seam to the 15, tackled forward. That's about it, right at the 15-yard line. Gain of 3. It's 2nd and 7.
You know, you look back at the third quarter, Morningside only had the ball twice, I believe, in the whole third quarter. And, because they ran the punt back for a touchdown,
right.
And then Ottawa had 2 long drives where they end up not scoring.
Yeah, considering Morningside had the ball twice, they still put up 21 unanswered to end the third quarter. 2nd down and 7. That's where we are still. A 21 unanswered run for the Mustangs. They lead 56-38 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Look at your box.
Handoff up the middle. There's Cole being brought down for a loss at the 17, a loss of 2. It's 3rd and 9.
I said, look at your box. There's literally only 5 guys in the box, and you have to run the ball there. And one, because you can, and 2, because the numbers say you have to.
But it ends up not working in
Nope, it
Morningside's
didn't.
favor.
Nope.
They lose 2 back to the 17, so 3rd down and 9. 3 left, 1 right. Dalenchek in the gun. Cole off his left hip. Joe taking his time, takes a chest-high snap, play action fake, looks to throw over the middle to Johnson, and the pass is deflected away and incomplete. It was Eric Holman, the safety, on the coverage, and it's 4th down and 9 for the Mustangs.
You got a 36-yard field goal in you, or do you go for it on 4th and 9?
That's what I was just thinking here.
Looks like they're going for it, huh?
Yeah, they are going to go for it. It's the way I see it. From a scoring standpoint, a field goal doesn't do you a whole lot better being up 18 versus 21, I guess. I don't know.
Well, 18 makes it a 3-possession game.
Right. Here's Dalenchek, though. 4th down and 9 from the Ottawa 17. They blitz him. Here comes the pressure. Dalenchek over the middle. Overthrows Reed Juergensmeyer. Incomplete pass and a turnover on downs for the Mustangs. Ottawa gets 1st and 10 from their own 17 with 11:30 to play in the ball game.
That's one of the few times they've been able to get a little pressure on Dalenchek.
Yep.
And whenever a quarterback's got somebody in their face, they can't shift their weight. So they're throwing the ball off their back foot, and you just about always throw the ball high when you do that. And when you throw it high to Juergensmeyer, you threw it high because he can go up and get it.
He can, absolutely. So here's 1st and 10 for the Spirit. Ball spotted at the Ottawa 17. A dump off into the flats. It is Moreland out across the 20 and tackled forward to the 24-yard line. Gain of 7 for Shamar Moreland. It's 2nd and 3.
See, that's the play I think Ottawa's had quite a bit, especially when they motion him out there. I mean, they can throw it out there to him, and he can get 6-8 yards easily every time.
Dropping back to throw. It is McCullough to the right sideline. Wide open Antonio Day, and he goes out of bounds across the 30 to the 31-yard line. That's a gain of 7 and a 1st down for the Spirit.
You don't see too many deep outs thrown when you're on a hash to the wide side of the field, but that's what that was.
That's a long throw.
Yes,
You've talked
it is.
about that a few times throughout the season. 1st and 10 for the Spirit. McCullough to throw over the middle. Quick pass caught by McLaughlin across the 35-40, and he's spun across the marker to the 42. It's an 11-yard gain and a 1st down for the Spirit.
See, and that's that shallow cross coming from the single receiver, but what he does is he settles in a window, and that's what makes that thing impossible to cover.
McCullough dumps it off into the flats. It's Moreland up across the right numbers, 40, 45, and down to the 46. A gain of 4 for the Spirit. It's 2nd and 6.
And just another way to get your running back the ball when you're having trouble running the ball.
2nd down and 6 for the Spirit from their own 46-yard line. 10-17 to play. I think they need to score here. Have to score here. McCullough rolls out right. Lots of pressure. Throws, passes to almost intercepted by Pingle, but it falls incomplete away from him. It's now 3rd down and 6. I don't know where McCullough was throwing that one.
I don't either. He threw it right in the hands of the defender.
Yeah, Pingle was about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage and still almost had the easiest interception of his life. But I think a last-second adjustment by McCullough threw it just wide of him. So 3rd down and 6 for the Spirit. They're at their own 46-yard line. McCullough, 2 men in the backfield, 2 receivers left, 1 right, 10:08 to play in the game. McCullough, play action fake, throws over the middle. That one's caught by the fullback. And across midfield, down to the Mustang 45, goes Tyler Lakowski, the junior. And a 9-yard gain keeps the drive alive. It's 1st and 10.
Well, that's a really, really good scheme play. They lined the fullback up on the left side, blocked him to the right, made it look like split zone, and then slipped him in over the middle of the formation.
Here is an empty backfield look for McCullough out of the motion. Throws right side and nowhere to go for Brandon McLaughlin. A loss of 1 on the completion. It's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, they tried to jailbreak screen again, and when you do that, the number 2 receiver has to block the corner, because if you don't, the corner's just going to be right on the receiver, and that's exactly what happened.
9:27 to play, 56-38. Morningside leads Ottawa in the opening round of the NAIA Football Championship Series on our People's Bank scoreboard. 2nd and 11 for the Mustang 46. Drop it to throw. McCullough throws deep right sideline as an open man, and the ball is overthrown of Shamar Moreland and incomplete. So he was going downfield to receive. It's now 3rd and 11.
Well, again, that's a pretty well laid out play. What they did is they brought the number 1 receiver on the single receiver side on a little in route, slant route, and the linebacker had dropped and kind of cut him off. And at that point, the tailback wheeled down the sideline, and he was open.
3rd and 11 now. 9:13 to play in the game. An 18-point Mustang lead. Ottawa trying to cut into it. McCullough to throw. Steps up. Rolls right. Dumps it off and throws wide of Ian Zamudio. An incomplete. Tyler Wingard on the coverage. It's 4th and 11. Well, one more play here. See if the Spirit can keep their drive alive, keep their season alive. The opening round of the NAIA Football Championship Series.
Now, I think the big difference in the second half is Morningside's more physical with the receivers. I mean, they're and when you're physical with them, if anything else, you reroute them and throw the timing off. And I think they've done a very good job of that.
4th and 11. McCullough to throw, drops back, throws left sideline, short of his target, Jordan King, incomplete. It's a turnover on downs. Morningside has 1st and 10 of their own 46.
Well, they tried to throw the deep out from the right hash to the left sideline, and he was open. He just couldn't get him the ball.
So 1st down and 10 for the Mustangs. They start at their own 46-yard line, and now the goal is keep moving the chains and keep the clock moving.
Yeah, I think you're going to see number 36 with his hands on the ball quite a bit.
I would agree as well, yep.
And as soon as I say that, they'll throw a touchdown pass to somebody.
That's exactly what Coach Ryan does best.
See, now here Morningside's putting trips into the boundary. Watch to see if they motion one of them out of there.
Yeah, there they go. It's
Yep.
Tuifua to the tight end position. They throw a screen now to Schwegert, left sideline across midfield. Tackled out of bounds at the Ottawa 49 for a gain of 5. It's 2nd and 5.
Just think of the play. They put trips into the boundary. They motion Tuifua out, make it look like a split zone play, and they throw their patented hash screen into the boundary. I mean, same play they've run 10,000 times in the last 5 years. They just give a different little look to it, and that's the beauty of this offense. It's the same stuff, just a different look to it.
2nd down and 6 here for the Mustangs at midfield. 8:37 to play. 56-38 Morningside. Here's Dolenchek in the pistol. 2 receivers right. Motions Juergensmeyer out wide. Handoff up the middle. It's Cole. And he is brought down right at the original line of scrimmage. The 50-yard line. No gain. It's 3rd and 6. Morningside 56. Ottawa 38 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Morningside trying to avoid only their, what would be, their 3rd loss of the NAIA opening round. They have won 15 out of 17 opening round contests in program history. And that is all consecutive as well. They have made 18 now consecutive NAIA Football Championship Series appearances. 3rd and 6 at midfield for the Mustangs. 2 right, 1 left. Motion Schwegert close to the line. Dolenchek to throw. Steps up in the pocket all day to throw. Over the middle. Pass is caught by Juergensmeyer across the 40. And he's tackled at the Spirit 36-yard line. It's a 14-yard gain. It's 1st and 10.
That's really good coverage by Jones, their Sam linebacker, nickelback as they call him. And it's just a big body. And Juergensmeyer's so good at using his body in traffic to catch the ball. He's almost like a tight end. You know, we teach tight ends sometimes to use their body, catch the ball with their bodies sometimes. And he's very good at catching the ball in traffic just because he's so big.
1st down and 10 for the Mustangs.
I mean, he's got good hands, too.
Right.
I didn't mean it that way.
Absolutely. Spirit 36. Dolenchek with a give. Up the middle, it's Cole. Up the left seam, 35-30. Broke free, 25. Cuts back inside the numbers, 20, 15, 10. Oh, he keeps going down to the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 31 for Ryan Cole. And it's 1st down and goal.
Well, that's a great run. You talk about yards after contact, but it's also an example of the defense trying to strip the ball. And when you're trying to strip the ball, you don't always make the tackle like you should.
6:48 and counting in the ball game. Morningside 56, Ottawa 38 on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Mustangs 5 yards away from putting another one in the end zone.
See, look at the play clock. Look how they're working the play clock right now.
Down to 6, down to 5. Dolenchek under center, snaps it, gives up the middle. It's Cole. Knifing his way through. He's tackled forward to the 2. It's a gain of 3, and it's 2nd and goal at the 2.
in a lot of ways, not scoring there is to your benefit because you're just running more and more time off the clock.
Yeah, just keep chewing away at the time.
And, again, watch the play clock. They're going to have it down inside 5 before they snap it.
Yeah, they're going to take as much time reading the signals from their play caller on the other side on the sideline here. Second down and goal from the Spirit 2. An I formation. Dalenchek under center. Sievert the fullback. Cole dots the I. Towdy motions at tight end left side. A give to Cole up the middle, and Cole stopped for no gain at the line of scrimmage at the 2. It's 3rd and goal.
And, again, that's fine. I mean, it really is. It's just fine. Of course you want to score, but, I mean, in the last 2 plays by not scoring, I guarantee you've ran at least a minute to a minute and 20 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, they're going to keep running that minute or so and keep that clock moving. 5:22 to play. Want to remind you at the end of the contest will be our Long Lines post-game report. Chat with Coach Ryan. We'll bring you all the stats and recaps you need to know. We'll also take a look at the scores from the other contests around the country on the Long Lines post-game report. Dalenchek single back, handoff up the middle. It is Cole, lowers his shoulder, did not get in. He's short of the goal line at the 1, and it'll be 4th and goal with exactly 5 minutes left in the ball game. So
I think you go ahead and run the play clock down to 1 and call timeout.
I think that's what Coach Ryan's going to do here. He's
saying we want a timeout with 1 second on the clock.
Yep, he's basically preloading it at this point, and Morningside is not going to even line up here on 4th and goal at the 1.
So what that really does is, not that it matters with the ball on the yard line, but it gives your offensive coaches more time to think.
Right.
I mean, and 1, you got your 30-second timeout, and 2, you've got 25 more seconds before you call timeout.
Right.
So.
Well, we'll take a timeout with Coach Ryan. They have 4th and goal at the 1. 4:20 to play. We're back in 30 seconds. It's Mustang football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. Welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium ahead of this 4th down and goal. Daniel Versteg, Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. 4th down and goal. 4:20 to play in regulation. Morningside 56, Ottawa 38 on the People's Bank scoreboard. And it'll be Joe Dalenchek under center in an offset I formation, trying to get into the end zone once again this afternoon. Dalenchek, the give up the middle. Cole punches through and gets into the end zone for a Mustang touchdown. Ryan Cole's 2nd score of the afternoon, and that should put it away. Morningside leads 62-38 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
You see their coach over there?
Yep.
You know what he's talking about? The fullback put his hand down really late. And by doing that, he's saying he didn't get set for a second. I think he might have a pretty decent argument.
Yeah, he's had a couple of those calls that he has not been happy with. And now Chase Carter with a point after try and put the Mustang lead to 25, and he does. Booting it through the uprights, it's good. 63-38, Morningside leads Ottawa. Yeah, you can see he's talking with a white hat over there. The Mustang lead is 25, 4:17 to play. We're back in 30 seconds to Elwood Olson Stadium on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Daniel Versteg and Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland's down on the sideline. We'll check in with Nathan here in just a moment. Our score, 4:17 to play in the ball game. Second-ranked Morningside 63 and 14th-ranked Ottawa of Arizona 38 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Morningside getting another score from Ryan Cole. And Morningside has now scored 28 unanswered since the Spirit led 38-35. Morningside scored 28 points since then. And the Mustangs will be able to kick this one away with the right foot of Chase Carter. And it'll be Zamudio and Moreland back deep to return. And Carter will try and avoid Shamar Moreland at all cost. Spirit down 25, 4:17 to play. There's a short pooch kick, right sideline. This is fielded at the 30-yard line.
Don't run backwards.
Oh, he runs backwards to the 25, to the 24. And a loss of 5 yards on the return for Christian Foote, the junior linebacker. And it's 1st and 10 for the Spirit at their own 25.
I'm sorry, Daniel.
No,
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I guess that's the coach of me. Don't run backwards.
Oh, yeah, that's the instinct in you there. Well, let's check in with Nathan Hoagland. He's down on the field for us. Nathan, what kind of things are you hearing as Morningside's increase their lead?
Yeah, right now it's all about finishing the game, finishing plays, finishing tackles, just being finished with everything so far.
Absolutely. You want to play through the final whistle, play strong. Thank you very much, Nathan, for that update down there. Spirit have the football, 1st and 10 of their own 25. 2 receivers on either side. McCullough throws left sideline, deflected away, almost caught, but fell incomplete at the 30-yard line. Zach Keller got a hand up there on the defensive line, swatted it away. It's 2nd down and 10. With 4:08 to play in regulation. Again, our Long Lines post-game report coming up at the end of the contest. Chat with Coach Ryan, recap the contest, and take a look at scores around the country, all coming up on the Long Lines post-game report. 2 receivers on either side. McCullough drops to throw, steps up in the pocket, dumps it off into the flats, and throws it short. Incomplete. Oh, they do blow it dead at the 20-yard line. Winger's just going to run it in the end zone, but our far line judge called it incomplete. The incompletion brings up 3rd down and 10 for the Spirit. Now, Morningside's making an argument that was a backward pass, but
I wouldn't be shocked if Coach Nesbitt doesn't get a penalty and do it on purpose. I mean, I think he's extremely frustrated with the Whitecap. Look at him. He's back there 5 yards from the play.
He's stalking him.
And yelling at him.
3rd down and 10 of the 25. McCullough throws right seam. It is caught. And that is Brandon McLaughlin out across the 35 to the 36, a pickup of 11. It's 1st and 10 for the Spirit.
That's the route they've had a ton of success with. It's just a little curl route to the number 1 receiver, and the quarterback. He can throw that ball. I mean, he throws that ball very, very well.
1st and 10. It is McCullough to throw. Pump fakes, lost the football, and it's picked up by Kohlbaum. They call it incomplete pass. McCullough's arm going forward on the throw, ends up in the back of his own lineman. The incompletion brings up 2nd and 10. Again, Morningside's bench wanted a fumble. They didn't think he completed the act of going forward, I guess, with the pass. Morningside's interpretation of the tuck rule, maybe. I don't know. 3:44 to play. It's 63-38. Morningside leads Ottawa on the People's Bank scoreboard. Here is 2nd down and 10 for the Spirit of their own 36. McCullough to throw over the right seam. It's caught at the 45. Ian Zamudio. They gave him the 46. Wow, what a spot. Gain of 10. It's 1st and 10. Oh, my gosh. I don't know how they gave him that. Morningside's fans are not happy with that spot.
I mean, if you use the 45-yard line as a reference point, which I think we both thought that's about where it should have been, he's on the 46.
1st and 10. McCullough to throw at their own 46. Steps up in the pocket, right into the waiting arms of the Mustang defensive line. Carter Anderson, Zach Keller, Weston Schultz all there. It's a loss of 3. It's 2nd and 13.
Yeah, that's a coverage sack. I mean, when he got to the top of his drop, nobody was there, so he shuffles. At that point, he's into his 2nd read, and at that point, that's gone too, and he shuffles again. Well, now you're just shuffled up into the interior line, and then that's a coverage sack.
2:52 to play in the ball game. 63-38 Morningside. McCullough to throw over the middle. That one's caught by Chester Riley, and he's not even able to get back to the original line. He's tackled at the 45 by Tyler Wingert. It's a gain of 2, but it's still 3rd and 11.
Good athlete, can run, but a little guy. And, I mean, little guys just get tackled.
3rd down and 11. Spirit season coming to an end here in Sioux City. McCullough drops to throw. Throws right sideline on a screen. It's caught by Chester Riley outside the right numbers across the 45 and across midfield. Down to the Mustang 47-yard line. That's a gain of 8. It's now 4th and 3.
See, and that's what we've seen all game. And when they motion him out and just set him out there, they can throw that ball to him every time, and he'll get 6-8 yards just like that.
2 minutes to play, separating Morningside from a berth in the NAIA quarterfinals. And they will join Kansas Wesleyan and Kaiser, who have already punched their tickets. 4th down and 3 of the Mustang, a 47-yard line, for the Spirit. 2 receivers on either side, trying to get across the 44. McCullough drops to throw. 4-man rush, throws left seam. It's short. It's incomplete. And a turnover on downs will give Morningside the ball. They just have to kneel it out a couple of times before they are on to the NAIA quarterfinals. The celebratory cowbells with 1:35 to play in the ball game. 63-38 Morningside. The Mustangs are going to improve to 11-0 overall. And we'll move on to the quarterfinals for the 16th time out of their 18 total postseason berths in the NAIA Football Championship Series. Morningside will line up with Joe Dolenchek in the pistol. 2 receivers right. Takes the snap, gives it around the right side. It's Matt Strecker. And he's tackled forward to midfield, a gain of 3. It's 2nd down and 7. 2nd down and 7 for the Mustangs from midfield. 1:22 to play. And Coach Nesbitt does not use his timeouts. Does not want to prolong this any further. Morningside getting a number of personnel in there that have not seen the field yet. 2nd down and 7, and now they're going to go into the victory formation here. Joe Dolenchek ticks the play clock down as far as he can.
This is what you call the prettiest play in football.
Yes. It's a beautiful play.
Unless you're on defense.
You're right. Right. And the prettiest play in football will just have to be run one more time before Morningside is 11-0 and is on to the quarterfinal round of the NAIA Football Championship Series. One more time for Joe. So he gets up under center with 30 seconds left in the ball game, and Morningside will win 63-38 on the People's Bank scoreboard. And he's going to make sure he's for sure got enough time on there. Probably could have done it by now, but
I think of our offensive line coach that I've coached with a while, and he gets upset with me when I make the offensive line sit in their 3-point stance that long.
It's a little extra workout,
I go,
right?
Quit your complaining.
Well, there's the kneel down, and the clock is at 000. Our final score from Elwood Olson Stadium. 2nd-ranked Morningside 63. 14th-ranked Ottawa 38. The Mustangs, for the 16th time in 18 postseason appearances, has moved on to the round of 8 in the NAIA Football Championship Series. Morningside joins another 7 football teams across the country as moving on in the playoffs. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll have our Long Lines postgame report coming up in just a few minutes. We'll talk with Coach Ryan. We'll recap the ball game for you coming up from Elwood Olson Stadium. We're back in 3 minutes with our Long Lines postgame report on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Daniel Versteg, Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. We'll check in with Nathan here on our Long Lines post-game report as Morningside improves to 11-0 on the season and advances to the quarterfinal round of the NAIA Football Championship Series. Our final score, Morningside 63, Ottawa 38 on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Mustangs improved to 11-0 on the season and are 16-2 all-time in NAIA Football Championship Series opening round action. Ottawa will conclude their season at 8-2, and they fall to 0-2 in NAIA Football Championship Series play all time. They lost in the opening round of 2019 to College of Idaho. That has been their only other playoff appearance to this point. We'll break down the stats here for you as Nathan waits to get a hold of Coach Ryan. But a great ball game for Morningside as they improve again to 11-0. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here. First for Ottawa, the Spirit come up with 603 yards of offense. It's 519 passing and 84 rushing. The Spirit go 11 of 22 on third down conversions, 4 of 7 on fourth down tries. And some of the other numbers here, 8 penalties for 80 yards. And, they don't have the red zone tries on here, unfortunately. Would have liked to see that, but that's all right. For Morningside, they come up with 613 yards of total offense, a little more balanced than the Spirit, 360 yards passing, 253 yards rushing. Only 1 punt for each team, 1 interception for the Mustangs. That was the 1 turnover they forced, 3 penalties, 40 yards for Morningside. Time of possession battle won by Ottawa, 33 minutes to 27 minutes. Individual numbers, how about the Spirit quarterback? Boy, his arm's about to fall off on the way to surprise Arizona. Austin McCullough, 46 of 75 passing for 519 yards and a touchdown. Yes, that's 75 passing plays for the Spirit. And they ran a total of 105 plays. Morningside ran 76 in this one. Just some ridiculous offensive numbers. On the ground, Shamar Moreland led the way for the Spirit. 14 carries, 43 yards, 2 touchdowns. Marcellus Chester Riley, 12 carries, 32 yards, and a touchdown. And Austin McCullough had a touchdown run, 4 total carries, 9 rushing yards. Receiving the football, Brandon McLaughlin, 14 catches, 190 yards, a touchdown. Ian Zamudio had 100 yards receiving, and it goes downhill from there. Defensive leaders for the Spirit, it's Eric Holman with 11 tackles. 9 of them were solo. No sacks, 1 forced fumble in there, and that was about it. Special teams-wise, Michael Hall goes 1 for 2 on a field goal. He had his field goal blocked, one of those field goals blocked, made one from 22. 5 for 5 on point after tries in this one. For Morningside, Joe Dolenchek goes 25 of 35 passing, 360 yards, 3 touchdowns. Anthony Sims, 24 carries, 184 yards, 3 scores. Ryan Cole, 14 carries, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. Receiving the football, Reed Juergensmeyer, 10 catches, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns. Caleb Schwagert with 5 catches, 70 yards, a touchdown. His punt return touchdown also earns him the NAIA player of the game here, offensive player of the game in this one. Some of the other leaders on defense, Lonell Boyd Jr. gets defensive player of the game. He had 8 tackles, 6 solo, 1 tackle for loss, and an interception. The leader in tackles was Tyler Wingard. He had 19. He was in on 19, I should say. 4 solo, 15 assisted. Jamal Jones had 11, Isaac Pingle 11, Jalen Portis with 10. A sack for Weston Schultz, half a sack each, Zach Keller and Carter Anderson. As Morningside is a winner here, 63-38. On our Long Lines post-game report, Nathan Hoagland has tracked down Coach Steve Ryan. He's down on the field with the man himself. Nathan, take it away.
Well, Coach, we talked at halftime. You said you needed to make some stops defensively. You only allowed 7 points in the second half. How'd you manage that?
The defense, that was big. That was an outstanding offense today. Quarterback was fantastic. Had the 2 stops down there in the red zone, which were a big part of it, the block kick, and then they got the stop, and it was just fantastic. And, the guys just kept playing ball, and that's what we asked of them.
And it feels like you guys got a huge spark, too, with that punt return, which then turned into, I think, 28 unanswered points. How big was that?
Yeah, that kind of broke the game open. The guys got blocks. They played fantastic and how they went after it. But, yeah, Swag had a great game. he made some big plays and was electric on that return.
And then defensively as well, you guys really did a good job of starting to get in the quarterback's face in the fourth quarter. What kind of changed to let you guys start getting more pressure?
Well, let's just stop with the fact that I'm fighting back tears at the thought that you're moving to Des Moines, and this is our last post-game interview. So I'm just struggling, like regathering my composure here that we're going to talk about this, and here you're leaving. So ask that question again before I break out in tears.
How'd you guys manage to pick up more pressure in the fourth quarter on their quarterback?
I just think the guys just kept going. They kind of had a look at what they were doing, and I thought their quarterback was outstanding, in terms of picking up the blitz and when they were coming and getting rid of the ball. And then he just did a great job. The guys did a little bit better job of disguising things and moving around and just kind of making plays. Part of it was a day of attrition, and our guys just kept playing, and it was just a matter of time before they covered the difference.
All right, well, perfect, Coach. Thanks, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
That was head coach Steve Ryan with some good parting words there for Nathan Hoagland on our Long Lines post-game report as the Mustangs defeat Ottawa University of Arizona 63-38 in the opening round of the NAIA Football Championship Series. Coach Ryan, a lot of good things to talk about there. Bob, when you were listening to what he talked about, he talked a lot about the defensive adjustments they made heading into the second half and their ability to just change the game the rest of the way in the second half. And, it was really their ability to get pressure and their ability to slow down Ottawa in the passing game that really turned the tides late in the contest.
Well, I saw about 4 or 5 in-game adjustments being made. The first one was Morningside went to their nickel, and Ottawa, their reaction to that was they're going to run the ball more, and that's where they had some success, was run the ball against their 3-man front. And then Morningside makes an in-game adjustment and says we're going to delete that page of our playbook and go back into our 4-man front, and that just stopped the running game at that point. And but I think the big adjustment I think the Morningside secondary and linebackers got more physical in the second half, and it just knocked the receivers. They rerouted them. They kind of threw off their timing a little bit. The adjustment with the 3-by-1 by pressing the number 1 receiver to the single side, I think those were all good adjustments by the defense.
Led to Morningside outscoring Ottawa 28-7 in the dominant performance so late in the ball game, and it shows that even in that first half when things were going back and forth, Morningside goes in the locker room, takes a look at what they did in the first half. They were able to come out and make the adjustments that they needed. That's always good to see, especially this late in the season.
Well, offensively, you can talk about Swigert all you want, Jurgesmeyer all you want, Dolenchek all you want, but it was the offensive line.
Yes.
The offensive line just dominated the Ottawa's defensive line, and they just ran the ball at will on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and unfortunately, Anthony Sims went down with an injury there. We hope he's all right. We'll try and get a progress update of that coming up next week, but we're kind of strapped for time on our Long Lines post-game report. We're going to be having you, we'll be bringing you Morningside women's basketball on KWSL coming up later this afternoon. That's a 4:15 pregame, 4:30 tip-off. But before we go from Elwood Olson Stadium, let's take a look at the scores around the country, see who's moving on. First, another GPAC team makes the quarterfinal. Northwestern defeats Central Methodist 24-7. The Red Raiders improved to 11-1 heading into the round of 8. Grandview University holds off Dickinson State by a final of 38-13. The Vikings improved to now 12-0 on the season. Dickinson State concludes their year at 8-4. In Indianapolis, Marion scores 15 unanswered to defeat was St. Xavier 47-3. And earlier today, Kaiser defeated Reinhardt 16-13. So we have 7 of the 8 moving on in the quarterfinal round. We'll have the last first-round contest played tomorrow at noon with Lindsey Wilson hosting Montana Western. And so right now we have Kaiser, Kansas Wesleyan, Concordia, Marion, Grandview, Northwestern, and your Morningside Mustangs on to the round of 8 in the NAIA Football Championship Series. So again, we won't know our opponent yet, but the game will be next Saturday, either noon or 1 o'clock. Be sure to stay tuned to KMNS. We'll get you up to date on that all this upcoming week. Or also check out the Morningside social media pages, the website at MSide Mustangs on Twitter, Morningside Mustang Athletics on Facebook, and MSideMustangs.com. They'll let you know the opponent once they figure that out and the time of the kickoff. But that'll do it for us. Be sure to flip over to KWSL for Mustang women's basketball starting at 4:15. Or if you're a hockey fan, we've got Musketeer hockey for you coming up tonight as well here on KMNS. But thanks for tuning in for Mustang football. I want to thank Nathan Hoagland and Bob Goodfin here at Elwood Olson Stadium. Gabe Hapke back in the studio, keeping us on